I'm going to be your host for tonight's Talk Sport edition from Premier Sports Fan Center. I have Polo right here. Polo, you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So excited to be back. Always feel very happy whenever I'm here for the Talk Sports show. So I can't wait for it to kick off.
And also we have hello and welcome to Talk Sports, your weekly deep dive into everything football. My name is Yinka Adegbuyi. They call me the Doc around here. And tactically, we're going to talk about masterclass analysis tonight about the world of football and about the occurrences happening there. I'm going to be your host for tonight's Talk Sport edition from Premier Sports Fan Center. And with me tonight in the studio, I have Polo right here. Polo, you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So excited to be back. Always feel very happy whenever I'm here for the Talk Sports show. So I can't wait for it to kick off.
And also we have Yemite here, right here. Yemite, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. So good to be back after what has transpired in the world of football for some days now.
Right, so we jump straight and we unpack the world of football. Straight on, we're looking at leadership pressure. This week we're looking at shocking defeats. We're looking at transfer debate, and we're looking at some of the major storylines in the world of football, from Liverpool's bounce back to Bayern's dominance and to the forthcoming El Clasico. Wow, it's going to be a wonderful show tonight. First of all, we're looking at leadership and locker room power right inside the dressing room of Liverpool. We're looking at some of the things that happened in recent times. After 4 straight losses, Liverpool's captain Virgil van Dijk called a players-only meeting, and the Reds responded in a massive 5-1 victory in Champions League, and a kind of behind-the-scenes leadership moment that fans love to dissect. So we're looking here, right here, at what happened at Anfield dressing room. Was Van Dijk's leadership moment a turning point, or was it just a short-term spark, Polo?
Well, it could be both, because if you ask me, when you see teams losing 4, 5, 6 games, you see that some players take the responsibility among themselves to organize a meeting between the players to decide if we want to continue to play for this manager or do something, because even what's his name, one of the ex player, and I'm trying to remember him, accused recently, Nottingham Forest player of concluding between themselves, to make sure that they sack
the coach.
Yeah, the manager. So if you ask me about Liverpool, I think it's the responsibility of Virgil van Dijk as the captain, the leader in the team, and one of the oldest players in that team also, to organize the players and say, "Do what's going on? We cannot continue to lose. 4 games in a row, not our standard.
Right. So not a standard, and that worked, that sparked the engine, and guys went romping in Champions League. So Mike, how important are these closed door moments to the team chemistry and mental reset?
Oh man, this is done. So looking at it, I think with the trajectory of things, with the flow is going down there, I just feel that over time, because you can't just take one game to really reflect on what is going down, but let's give them time.
Right. So to you, these moments are not very important to reset? We're talking of mental resets and chemistry.
Mental reset and chemistry, I think, on the Liverpool matter.
Not particularly. All this one time, all these closed door meetings with captains, how effective are they to the psyche of the players?
I think they do it all the time, most times, especially when things are not going well. It's one of the things that has to do with the leadership role and experience. So there are times whereby the experienced players actually call on the younger ones that are coming up, and they try to sit and talk, and Van Dijk really has done through that line, and he can only speak like this because Liverpool won. If they didn't win, most likely we would not be saying all this. So
Right. So if they didn't win, we're not going to see all the show and all the press conferences held by Van Dijk after that whooping 5-1 victory in Champions League. So to you out there, viewers and fans and followers, I want you to answer the third question: could this mark the new or the rise of a new leadership culture under Arne Slot? Could this change mark the rise of new leadership structure whereby the coach, the captain, the players can decide on match winning or match performances by holding players only without the coach's involvement? Please put your comment in our comment section. Just put it down on YouTube or go to our Facebook page and write exactly what you feel about this kind of trend that happens in football. So while Liverpool seems to have found a voice again, not every European giant is handling adversity as smoothly. So we have a meltdown in Naples. That's our next subject. I'm sure Paulo is already smiling because you saw how Napoli was whooped and totally scolded by Dynamo in the past few days in Champions League. So we're looking at SSC Napoli losing by 2-6 to Dynamo of Russia. Dynamo.
PSV rather. PSV Eindhoven.
PSV Eindhoven. Pardon me for that error. PSV Eindhoven whooping Napoli 6-2, and we saw how Conte came out firing on all throttles. After that shocking defeat, Conte decided he was going to use the whip. And he said the squad is fragile. And then now he's going to bring the whip to the table. And 9 summer arrivals were made. And low morals at the Naples right now. And public criticism is rising against the Conte's drama. So does Conte's theory still work in modern football dressing room? Do you think this whip is going to bring this hard rocks, this hammer is going to solve the problem for them in Naples? Follow.
Yeah. Well, I think before the Champions League game, they lost also against Torino. After that loss, you could see that fans started feeling grumpy, and now you go away to the Dutch champion, you as the Italian champion, going there to embarrass they not only embarrass the whole of Naples,
the whole of Azuris,
Italy as a whole, because you the champion of Italy being whooped by a team that is not even among the top 5 leagues.
They are not even top 10 in rating in Europe.
So and for Napoli, 6-2 is too much for the fans to take. But at the same time, I think whatever Antonio Conte has been doing at Napoli, I think it has worked. But fans, they don't like to lose. They don't want to lose at all. And at the same time, one thing we should factor in is that though I've noticed it, I think it's a trend. Anybody that wins the Scudetto, that's the Serie A. The following season they turn to another team, losing games here and there, and I think that's the same thing that is worrying Napoli at the moment now.
Right. So Paulo thinks Napoli is just following the trend in the Italian Serie A. And now we're taking our second question here. Napoli issues, are they tactical, are they psychological, or simply a case of poor recruitment? 9 changes, recruits were brought in. Mate, what do you think about this? Tactical recruitment or just psychological issues?
I don't think it's a big deal. Conte. Conte is not really a big of a manager in Europe. He has mostly struggled. So he has continued the trend of struggling in Europe. So it's not about recruitment. It's just about him finding his way of coaching in European football. Domestic football is different from European football. So I think that he needs to upgrade whatever he does in Europe rather than the way he did it in Syria. I think that he needs to improve. He has a big squad, a large squad. Napoli shouldn't be humiliated like that. The fans have every right to complain. And you see the Champions League, if you don't run fast early, you might not meet up with the rest of the teams.
Absolutely. So if you don't get up early and run quickly, you might just miss out and be placed in the wrong hands for the playoffs or second round in Champions League. So how much time do we give Conte really here? How much time does Conte really need to steady this ship? Paulo?
Well, I think they need to give him time. If you look at it in Europe, they I think they've won one and drawn. Is it drawn one and lose
And lost one woefully.
So yeah,
Woefully.
but in the league also, I think they've only lost only one or I'm not sure about the league, but I don't think they are doing too bad domestically, in the league, and even in Europe also, I don't think they are they are doing too bad. If they can't make the top 8, they can still qualify for the playoffs in the Champions League. But I know the reason why all these conversations are coming is because one, they lose back to back, and secondly, the second loss was in fact more than if there's any word other than embarrassment, I would definitely. So that is the reason why we are all talking about it. So we just need to hold on and see the next 4, 5, 6 game if there's improvement or not.
Right, so we give him a little more time, 4, 5, 6 games. Let's see how he takes the woeful loss right there in Netherlands. And while we're there, we're looking at talking about clubs wrestling with expectations. And we're talking about Manchester United, and somebody laughs. Manchester United name always pops up here, and under United here we have Joshua Zirkzee's saga. Joshua Zirkzee is set to leave United. Report suggests that Joshua could be leaving in January. A big talking point for fans questioning United's transfer planning and strategy. And now we're looking at these key issues. Should United cut their losses or double down on developing Zirkzee? Should they just let him go or still spend more money developing? Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, I think with where Manchester United is at, they really need to develop, and the fact that Zirkzee is one of those guys that looks more like a shining light at some point, and now looking like the number of minutes is slowing down. I think that it's not something I feel that should be decided now. I think over time, there's still a long season.
So you think they should develop him? They shouldn't allow him to go yet?
As far as I'm concerned, this discussion is too early. It's too early in the season to have this discussion.
Right. So, what does it say about the long-term project under the current management? Because the player is agitating. He wants to leave, likely in January. So, what does it say about their management, the player development?
Well, first of all, I think Joshua Zirkzee was among those names, rumored to be leaving Manchester United, either permanently or on loan. That was during the last
summer transfer
window. But at the end of the day, he was still at Manchester United. Like Yema said, I think it's too early. He just joined them, I think, last season. It's not even up to and I think I think what affected him is probably the playing style, of the manager, and because you look at how not only him, there are other players, but this season he hasn't had really, much
enough
of
time,
playing time. But that's why you talk about, Manchester United recruitment, and I want to believe if it's one of the players brought in by the manager now, I don't think this conversation would be there. It would have been playing. So, when you have a new manager or you have a manager,
they seem to favor their own players.
The ones he bring in and the ones that so that's just the issue. But I think Manchester United recruitment at the moment, to be honest, I'm not really convinced about their recruitment at the moment.
Right. So, we're not convinced. Paulo is not convinced about the recruitment happening at Man United. I think one of the major challenges they've had is the changing coaches too frequently. As the coaches change, the players get favored less here and there. So Yama, do you think they should focus more on signing marquee players, or they should develop the ones they have?
I don't think Man U's problem is about signing. I think they need to go to the foundation and set a proper structure. And when you want to rebuild a structure, you have to demolish the ones you have and start from the scratch. I think they need to go back to the roots and set a proper way they want to play. When Liverpool embarked on this journey, it started with Jurgen Klopp. First 2 seasons, they were not really the best. until they started building on building on building. They now have a proper way of playing where Arne Slot has now taken them to another level. If you look at Man City, Roberto Mancini started with this free-flowing football up front. Pellegrini came, then Guardiola took it to the next level. So I think what Man U need is to demolish whatever it is they have, and I think they have the right manager to do that. I think they need to support him, because a lot of Man U players, they are not really used to this new invention in football, whereby play from the back, not really comfortable with it. So I think that the structure is really the issue, not about changing managers. It's about the structure and the mentality.
So they should retain these players and try to build a structure
Not retain, some
and develop
go.
them.
When you look at a structure,
No, we're talking of whether they should keep buying marquee players or develop the ones they already have.
What I'm saying is, the questions will answer itself when you have a structure. For
Exactly.
instance,
So what you're saying,
organization,
if I get it in summary, is that they should just focus on working on the structure. They have enough players.
then the players that don't fit into that structure will leave. The players that can fit in will stay. Look at Man City model. When Guardiola came, the players that could not fit in, some fit in. He met De Bruyne, he fit in. He met Silva, he fit in. He also met Iheanacho, he had to go. He met some other guys that had to go. So it is the structure that will give birth to the players that will stay or that will go. But if you don't have proper structure, you will just be chasing clout, buying available players and not really what they need.
All right, so thank you, Yema. So we're saying to you, United, you don't need to get more marquee players. We're saying put your house in order, and then the fans can be happy as your players adapt. And speaking of iconic matchups and rebuilding legacies, let's head to Spain right now, where there is something coming over the weekend. And Paulo knows this is the El Clasico, the first edition for 2025-2026 season. El Clasico is going on. Wow. This is so huge. And this time around we have something at stake. There's a lot at stake here in this El Clasico. So we know that the world's biggest rivalry is back and it's happening this weekend. And Real Madrid are desperate to end Barcelona's recent run of dominance. I mean, 4 times in a row that Barca defeated Madrid 4 times in consecutive row, and that Real Madrid has to offset this season. So they have something they're chasing. The tactical and the emotional stakes couldn't be higher than this ever. So here we go. Poloski, has Barcelona's youth-driven approach given them a psychological edge over Madrid?
I don't think so. I don't think so. You look at Barcelona, for a very long time, they like to integrate, the young ones into the team, and at the moment it looks like they have a lot of young, players presently now than the older ones, and they keep on gelling among them. And you look at those those players, they all, most of them, I think about let's say 85 to 90% of them comes from the club's academy.
Yeah.
So they know, like what Yama was talking earlier about the structure. So they knows everything about the structure, how the team, the philosophy, how the club wants to play,
the culture.
Yeah, the culture. But if you ask me if it has given edge over a Real Madrid, but I don't think so, because Madrid also, they are a team that always they prefer bringing on the Galacticos from different clubs across Europe or around the world also. But if you ask me, if you say given over, the edge over Real Madrid, I don't think so.
Okay, so you might hear, what tactical adjustments could Madrid make to reclaim control?
Yeah, I think that Madrid is still trying to really understand how the coach wants them to play. But in the process, they are grinding out results in the process. But I think this El Clasico will be the first real, after the Atletico Madrid game. I think El Clasico will be the real solid test for
Xabi Alonso.
And we saw how Hansi Flick really demolished whatever it is Real Madrid had going on last season. So, and these games, El Clasico, can be title deciders, and it can really, really shape a direction to how your season will go. So, I think that is a game with a lot of question marks. And I think that a lot of the questions will be answered on the field of play.
Right, and this weekend we know Hansi Flick is on a red card and is on suspension. Is not going to feature in this game from the dugout. He's going to be on suspension. And could this be the season where the balance of Spanish power shifts again, or we're going to have a balance in this season? Can we expect a balance like we used to, like, one win, two draws, or two win, one draw, one loss, etc., etc.?
You mean the
El Clasicos? Or is it going to be in one direction again?
We can't really say now. I think whoever draws the first blood has the upper hand. Like last season, Barcelona defeated Real Madrid 4 times in a row. This season, it might be Real Madrid who might take, or defeat them also. But I think this time around, Real Madrid, we don't want to continue on that losing trend, and we want to give their best. At the same time, Barcelona also, and recently Barcelona players are like Lamine Yamal back from injury, so I think it's going to be a very difficult one. But to be honest, I can't really call it at the moment who is going to take the day. But whoever takes the day, come this weekend, have the upper hand going forward.
Okay, so whoever takes the day for the first time has the upper hand. That's what our analyst from the studio here, Poloski, believes for this particular one. But I still have a question here for Yemite, and it's very simple, because this is going to be, you suggested that this might be a title decider from this point, and we're just at match day 9 or 10, and we're looking at title decider here. And so I'm taking it from this angle. Do you think that the likes of Mbappe and the likes of Lamine Yamal will have dominance in this kind of game? Can they actually come and exercise their prowess in this edition of El Clasico?
Yeah, for you to properly announce your presence in clubs like Barcelona and Real Madrid, you have to show up at their Clasico. One of the reasons why you forever respect players like Ronaldo and Messi is they really, really come up with the goodies when it matters most. And there's a reason why it's called a Clasico, because for year in, year out, for decades, it has been the game that decided a lot of times where the La Liga will swing at the end of the day. So I think that, Mbappe, Lamine Yamal, you want you to announce yourself fully into the hearts of the fans. You have to keep showing up at the Clasico.
Yes, so you got to announce yourself, and you need to show up at the El Clasicos. That's a word for the Lamine Yamals and for the Fermin Lopez and the young ones that are trying to get relevance and contesting, especially for the Ballon d'Or. We saw how Lamine Yamal had to come very, very close to picking it up, even right in front of Kylian Mbappe last season. And I don't think that's going to happen this season if Mbappe continues to score the way he's been scoring. Polo, what do you think about that?
Well, definitely, if he continues to score, he will be in the mix, in the conversation. Not only him, including Erling Haaland, who has been scoring, week in, week out. Even Harry Kane himself. And if they all continue, I think we might see the three of them on the podium.
On the podium.
But at the same time, the reigning Ballon d'Or player of the talking about Ousmane Dembele. He has been injured for some time, but he's back now and firing, so he could still also push for it. I believe when the season gets to half, or the other stages of this season, that is when the real contenders, we really emerge. That's when we start separating, the boys from
boys,
men. Because at this stage now, you see a lot of players firing, but when it mattered most, you won't find them. So I think Mbappe, Lamine Yamal, Harry Kane,
and Vinny Jr.
Haaland also.
And Haaland, yeah, very high and fighting this season. So what Spain is preparing for his biggest showdown this weekend. We move straight into Germany, and Bayern Munich are already making dominance, and they look effortless in doing this. And as you can see, Harry Kane is on fire here. The title race looks almost over before it's even Christmas. It's so. The manner in which they've been winning is just so, and there's no contestant because second on the league is Leipzig, and then you have Dortmund somewhere second or third, or third or fourth on the log, and they're like distant 5-6 points from Bayern Munich at match day 10. And but is this dominance good or bad for German football? Is Bayern Munich supremacy killing Bundesliga, or are they setting new standards? Gemite, what do you think?
I think it has been like this for years. When you remember the Bundesliga, the first team you have in mind is Bayern, and it has not destroyed the Bundesliga. It has not made it bad. Sometimes, once in a while, Dortmund will pop up to win the league, and we saw Bayern Leverkusen.
And we saw like Leverkusen 2 seasons ago.
Probably once in a decade.
Yeah, so it has been a Bayern league. So it hasn't stopped the Bundesliga.
Hello, welcome to another round of football on Premier Sport Fan Center. And tonight is the English League, and it's the League Cup tonight, also known as the Carabao Cup. Lot of interesting matches laid on our screens tonight, so which we'll be doing justice to on Premier Sport Fan Center. Don't forget, it's a watch along program, and we're welcoming you to tonight's action around the world of football. Arsenal against Brighton at the Emirates Stadium. Liverpool against Crystal Palace, fast turning into nemesis of Crystal Palace, fast turning into Liverpool's nemesis. Also have Swansea against Manchester City, Wolverhampton against Chelsea, and Newcastle against Tottenham. These are top matches lined up for tonight's analysis on Premier Sport Fan Center. My name is Adiem Shegun, and I'll be your host for tonight's watch along, where for the next 90 minutes we'll be running commentaries and analysis of these games going on around England. I'm not alone in the studio tonight, as I also have with me Paulo, who together will be the justice to tonight's game of football.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So, excited. It's another match, and like you said, a lot of matches, and we'll definitely, do justice to all of it as it's unfold.
Okay, you are an Arsenal fan, and we're seeing Arsenal against Brighton tonight. And Brighton turning into one of those teams that, yes, they can come up against any big team and get a good result out of them. So it's Arsenal against Brighton, and it's looking like a second fiddle Arsenal's starting 11 in this one against Brighton. We have Kepa Arrizabalaga as the goalkeeper, and the younger Max Doman, and we're seeing Hanos in the starting 11. How comfortable are you with the starting 11 set out by Mikel Arteta?
Well, depending on how you want to look at it, I'm of the opinion that Mikel Arteta should have, at least started the, big boys, probably in the first half. Then second half, you made this lot of change. Because what I'm saying this is that all trophy now counts. So for us at Arsenal, we need to win this game, no matter what. But at the same time, if you look at it again, you say it's trying to rotate the team, give everybody the opportunity. If Kepa Arrizabalaga is not picked for this game, I wonder the match he wants to or competition wants to start again. So overall, still good one, but I expect a good result from them.
Yeah, expecting a good result from Arsenal in this encounter against Brighton. That game has kick-started already in the 4th minute. Arsenal playing their home attire, the red and the white shorts, while Brighton are also playing their home attire, the blue and white stripe jersey and the blue shorts in this one. And Arsenal has been the one controlling the better share of possession in this one. There is no Saliba and there is no Gabriel starting for Arsenal tonight. We have the young, what's it called, Mosquera and in Cape, who are both pairing in defense for Arsenal. This is like the first this is the first time really seeing both of them pairing together. Do you think they have what it takes to also give that same performance we do get from Saliba and Gabriel in the center, in the heart of Arsenal defense?
Well, like you said, this is the first time both of them will be starting a match together, or even playing. Though I think they've played together, but probably maybe the last 5-10 minutes. But starting a game together for Arsenal. But we've seen what's his name in Mosquera played. He has started game and he came on 45. So we've seen he has the quality, but I don't think it's at that level you expect. The level of Saliba. And but for Nkapa, we've not really seen much of him at Arsenal, but we've seen a little bit of him from Bayer Leverkusen. But I just hope that both of them can form a good partnership in this game and help us now to get all 3 points.
Okay, 3 points is at stake for the Gunners in this encounter. Right here, we have Brighton on possession of the ball. Returns it back to the goalkeeper still, who takes a long one out of his goal post. Tries to play it into the middle of the park. Arsenal in possession, and it's Lewis Kelly who comes forward. And Johnson was just broken the deadlock in that game against Wolverhampton. Andre Santos with his first goal for the Blues. And what a way to open that game in the 6th minute. Johnson 1, Wolverhampton 0, right there at the Mayo Stadium.
Yeah, good one for Chelsea. A lot of rotation also, but I think Wolf, this season they've been very, very terrible, and it will be a very disappointing one for them to have considered so early in the game, like they did over the weekend. Also, they considered 2 quick goals over the weekend. And,
I think Jose Sarr, the goalkeeper, should be doing better from that shot. It looks like that mistake was from the Nigerian striker Tolu Arokodare, who lost the ball in a dangerous place. That was a bad control he was trying to pass it onto the part of his teammates who couldn't get onto the ball there before Jeremy Gittins got onto the ball and releases it straight into the part of the on-rushing Andre Santos. With the Brazilian made no mistake of sending that into the back of the net for Chelsea's first goal tonight against Wolverhampton. 7th minute in that game at Wolverhampton. It's Chelsea 1, Wolverhampton 0. Andre Santos with the first goal. Still 0-0 in that one between Arsenal and Brighton. The 7th minute. And it looks like this is the biggest match away from, I think, should it be Liverpool and Crystal Palace being the biggest match tonight? Because 4 games they played against each other, 3 games rather they played against each other. Liverpool are finding it hard. I think they've lost all 3 games against Crystal Palace.
I think the last 5 games they've only won 1, and Crystal Palace have won, I think, 3 and drawn 1. But I think that should be the biggest, given the circumstances surrounding that game. Because you look at that game, Crystal Palace are they are unbeaten the last 3 against Liverpool, and Liverpool are presently the reigning champion in the EPL.
And even the Carabao Cup, right? If I'm mistaken.
Carabao Cup, no,
Newcastle are the champions of Carabao.
Yeah. So, but I think that game, but to be honest, if we wanted to look at it realistically, I think the game involving Newcastle and Tottenham should be the biggest of the type.
Yes, and Brighton going forward, attacking against Arsenal. You might just break chance for first goal with a beat. Oh, beautiful save there from Kepa Arrizabalaga. And what will have been Brighton's first goal in this encounter. Unfortunately, Jorginho couldn't put that into the back of the net, but they are showing promises. The Ruta have been sent straight on goal against the Arsenal's goalkeeper, but the keeper Arrizabalaga did a very good work there for the Gunners to deny Brighton the first goal in this encounter. And you can see the openings through the side of in Cape right there. Look at the openings and how much position or how much opening they're giving to the striker there, Ruta, who on his own day is also a ruthless striker.
Yeah, and so we'll be so disappointed that he didn't actually convert down, but we need to give credit to Kepa Arrizabalaga, who made himself very big there and cover everywhere. But I think the striker should be doing better.
Yes, Brighton attacking against Chelsea. Oh, Jorgensen will come out together that, but unfortunately, Chelsea goalkeeper almost fumbled that, and Chelsea were denying Brighton, Wolverhampton a chance of equalizing. Arsenal with a corner kick, a set piece, and we know how dangerous the Gunners can be from this situation. With this very first goal for Arsenal, a long one into the box there, Wolverhampton, Brighton goalkeeper will gather that, and it's Brighton will clear out as they eat out on the counter against Arsenal. Here might just be a chance for Brighton to get the first goal, set it straight into the box there with this very first goal for Brighton. And final, oh, unfortunately, again in quick succession, Brighton are not scoring.
I don't know what to make up of this. Two massive opportunity for Brighton.
Look at this. They should be scoring this.
That was a good counter-attack.
This is a good counter-attack. Opening up the Gunners on the defense there, but unfortunately, Brighton missed it out there. Look at that. Kepa making himself big. You have to give it to Harris.
I think Kepa's positioning has been the issue for those players.
That positioning is actually a top-notch one there. You expect a striker, Zima's there to be putting that into the back of the net, but Zima's denying Brighton a chance of going ahead in this one. Actually kicked that side netting. We would have expected that from a striker. Richard with the first chance missed, and also we've seen Zimas with his own chance for Brighton. Also missed a chance to send Brighton one up, and also in the Chelsea game, Tolu Arokodare went off target there.
But is the guy pacey like that?
Yeah, he's actually pacey. He's actually pacey. You might just look at it like
because it's very surprising how he just ran the ball there. I thought the referee had blown. The Chelsea defender couldn't. But
it's a goal kick to Chelsea there. Yeah, yes, Jorgensen in possession of the ball for the Blues. There takes a long one into the middle of the park. Chelsea currently leading in that game 1-0 against Wolverhampton. That game is at the 10th minute. Andre Santos with the first goal tonight in various Carabao Cup game going on in Europe, in England rather. Still 0-0 in all that centers. Liverpool against Crystal Palace is also 0-0. Arsenal with a chance for their own first goal, easily defended there by Brighton, and this game is eating up. That is what you expect from a game like the Gunners. Brighton should be attack for the next 90 minutes of this encounter. 10 minutes into this game, Arsenal coming forward there, and you might just be a chance for the Gunners to get a goal. But Brighton with defend effectively there. And yes, Arsenal in possession of the ball. The Gunners are finally holding onto the stick of this game. No guard in the middle of the park, and finds the Mosquera. Mosquera comes forward and sends it straight to Ben White. And Ben White on the ball there for Arsenal. Goes forward and finds Max Doman. Domans rather, who was adjudged to be in offside position. So it's going to be a free kick to Brighton, straight to the Chelsea game. Chelsea will look to attack against Wolverhampton right there in the 11th minute, and the Blues won't go up and looking for a second goal with this brilliant chance for Chelsea. Second, easily defended there by Wolverhampton as a look to turn defense into attack. Arokodare will chase that, but Chelsea back in possession of the ball. Malo Gusto on the ball there and still holds onto it, and not in an hurry to send it to the goalkeeper, and finds the centre back right there, and is Achipong, who finds Tolu out, who finds what's it called, Tosin Adarabioyo. Tosin finds them. Ato returns it back to Tosin, and Tosin comes forward with the ball for Chelsea. He is the captain for Chelsea tonight, and looks out to the wing there, finds his Chelsea teammates. Chelsea attacking against Wolverhampton, looking for his second goal in this encounter. He's been brought down. The referee allows place to continue since that was a fair challenge. Tolu Arokodare with 1-2 with his teammates. Arsenal looking to break through the lines of Brighton there. 12 minutes gone in that encounter. Brighton will come out to attack against the Gunners right now. Iberiche is doing a lot of defensive work for Arsenal. Inching with the ball there for Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton looking to come into this one against Chelsea. They're gradually growing into this game, and here's a team with the ball there, goes out straight to the wing there, cross into the box with the Chelsea goalkeeper, gathered that straight into the hands of the Chelsea goalkeeper. Brighton coming close to get the opening goal in this one again. I won't be surprised if I get to the first goal from Brighton, because the way they're coming at Arsenal in this one, it will really be surprising if they are not scoring in this encounter.
Yeah, definitely. They've created more chances than Arsenal. They've had really two good opportunities to have been 2-goal up in this game, but Arsenal needs to be very careful, because you look at how Brighton are playing, they really mean business. I could remember the last time we met in the Europa, this same competition, they actually knocked out Arsenal at the Emirates here. So I don't know if history will repeat itself with the way they are playing. But one thing I know is that if Brighton fail to score probably or take the lead in the first half, I think it's all over for them, because by second half the changes will come in, and probably take the game away from them.
Surprisingly, the game between Swansea and Manchester City, Swansea was gone one goal up in the counter. It's like all is going from bad to worse for Manchester City. Pep Guardiola would need a big response to this one against Swansea because they're playing away from home. And it's Goncalo Franco with the first goal in that counter at the 12th minute. What is really happening to Manchester City?
Honestly, it seemed like Liverpool also, though Manchester City were able to, recover themselves and win, a consecutive number of games before they lost over the weekend. But and today the robot is not on the pitch, and it's not even part of the match day squad. So I don't know where they're going to get the goal from, because you look at this season. Erling Haaland has scored virtually almost 85% of their goals. So, and now he's not involved. So it's a long night for them.
Yeah, it's going to be a long night for Manchester City trying to come back against Swansea in that encounter. But trust them, Manchester City, they know how to come back and win games like that. But they're without Erling Haaland, is not dressed for that encounter. Yes, Chelsea in possession. Josh Archipong on the ball for the Blues that looks onto the wing, finds Jorel Ato. Ato comes inward into the middle, but chose to go back to the centre back where he finds Tosi and Darbioyo. And Tosi looks inward into the midfield, finds his Chelsea teammate. Here is Josh Archipong, goes back to the Chelsea goalkeeper. Jurgensen on the ball there, looks inward and finds the young Josh Archipong. Almost put himself in a lot of trouble. Chelsea will look to attack against what's called Wolverhampton. Here is a Chelsea chance there with a bit of first goal for Chelsea, second goal for Chelsea. This is a counter and into the back of the net. This is the Blues who has doubled their lead, and it's Tyreek George with the first goal. Jimmy Gittins with 2 assists in this game right now.
Yeah, Chelsea enjoying the game right now. You can see them taking it away from Wolverhampton Wanderers, who have looked very bad all through this season. And Chelsea, finding it so easy for them going forward, running riot at the defense of Wolf, and look at.
You have to give it to Jimmy Gittins for that footwork, and look at that. Set the straight into the foot of Tyreek George to put that into the back of net. No, I doubt if that was offside. A beautiful build-up play from the Blues. Jimmy Gittins with a solo run there and taking his man away. It all started with Bonanotte in the middle of the park. Finds the young England international who took Duarte to the cleanser there and set it on the plate for Tyreek George, who has all the option of tapping into the back of the net, and the young Coban graduate did miss from that tapping situation to doubles Chelsea lead. 2 assists for Jimmy Gittins in this encounter, and what a game. Arsenal looking to attack right now. You might just be a chance for the first goal for the Gunners in this encounter. And Zaldoman, yes, that was Max Zoman, easily bullied off the ball there by the Brighton defenders, and straight into the 16th minute. Chelsea 2, Brighton 0, Arsenal 0, Brighton 0 rather, Liverpool 0, Crystal Palace 0. We have a Swansea 1, Manchester City 0, Wolverhampton 0, Chelsea 2 in that account. And going straight to the starting 11, but before the starting 11, Arsenal has a corner kick right there in the 16th minute, and this is where one of the places where the Gunners looks dangerous, a long one into the box with that brilliant chance for a first goal for the Gunners, and Arsenal players are asking for a corner kick there, but the referee favors a goal kick. Still we hold on to the ball there, and we can see the Arsenal captain in this encounter, which that's captain in the Gunners is Mikel Merino, who is captain in the Gunners in this encounter. But that looks surprising since there's Ben White on the pitch. How is Merino the captain for Arsenal tonight?
Well, it's not about if you look at it based on if it's longevity, you give it to Ben White. But you look at Ben White, it's not.
He hasn't been really present in the Arsenal side.
Team for a while now, and probably the experience. What's his name? Possess. The captain. I'm talking about Mikel Merino. Probably that's the reason.
All right, 70 minutes gone in both fixtures. Our Foca match, and it's Arsenal 0, Brighton 0, Wolverhampton 0, Chelsea 2 in the 17th minute of that encounter. Chelsea smoking all out against Wolverhampton, who are not really having it good in the EPL. Do you see them relegating this season?
It's I won't be surprised if they go relegate this season, because last season they also struggled, and but eventually they.
It's Baliba who tries to put it on the plate for his teammate there. But that Kepa Arrizabalaga will come out to gather that for the Gunners. Arsenal having 2 reliable goalkeeper this season. Talking about the first choice goalkeeper David Raya, and we also have Kepa Arrizabalaga, another experienced goalkeeper, a Champions League winner with Chelsea. So the experience is there for this young man also.
Definitely, and I think he also won. He's not part of the squad that won the Champions League with Real Madrid.
Yeah, he was
I
there.
think also so the double Champions League winner. So Arsenal having two good goalkeeper. I think it's one of those moments. As a football club or as a fan of a football club, you enjoy. Knowing fully well that you have another person you can call upon to come on the pitch. But to be honest, I was very surprised when we got the due because I expect Kepa to at least be in a club where he'll be playing regularly because he's in his prime. To me, we saw what he did with Bournemouth last season. It was very, very good for them, honestly. But I decided.
Yes, Jimmy Gittins, where chance for Charleston starred. Where chance for Tyreek George double is going count in this encounter. Unfortunately, the young England international couldn't connect to Jimmy Gittins' spilled pass or spilled shots in the box there. What would have been Chelsea starred in the opening 20 minutes of this encounter. And the Blues are really coming on. That was so close. So close. There was nothing Jose Sa would have done to keep that away from his box. But unfortunately for Tyreek George, it won't be going to the back of the net. So it's still Chelsea 2, Wolverhampton 0 in that encounter. Looking at Wolverhampton, the home side of starting 11. Jose Sa is the goalkeeper. In defense, we have Matt Doherty as the right back and also Wolf as the left back. A centre back pair of Gomez and Mosquera in this account, not Arsenal's Mosquera. In the middle of the park, we have Agbadu, and up front we have Chatao and Lopez, Gomez, and Wang. And up front is a Loma striker, Tolu Arukodare. For Chelsea's starting 11 of Joe Gesson as the goalkeeper, Malo Gusto slotting in as the right back, and Jore Ato playing as the left back. A centre back pair of Achipong and Adara Bioyo. In midfield, we have Romeo Lavia and Andres Santos, the first goal scorer in this encounter. Both pairing on the base of Chelsea's midfield. While up front, we have Esteval, Bonenot, and Jimmy Gittins, who has provided to assist, and the Loma striker, Tyreek George, who has also scored one goal for Chelsea in this encounter. Looking at the way Chelsea has approached this game and leading 2-0 in the opening 20 minutes. Do you see any way back in this one for Wolverhampton?
I don't see any way back but though it's football, but we saw them go down 2-0 over the weekend against Burnley at home and they came back but they still surrendered
they surrendered at the 9 members of
it. But Chelsea is quite different from Burnley. You expect Chelsea to grow in strength as the time goes on, and I don't see a way back for them in this game.
Okay, as under some spots for a way back, where they have a throw in and they take a long one into the Chelsea's box there. Easily defended there by the Chelsea defenders. Still Wolverhampton in possession of the ball. This time around, rolls out for a throw into Chelsea. Mazdouan on the ball for the Gunners. They look inward and finds teammate. Yes, Arsenal attacking against Brighton, and Ben White with a cross into the box there, but Brighton clears the lines and back into the parts of Ben White. Ben White in possession for the Gunners, returns it back into the middle of the park and finds his teammates on Noga there. And Noga returns it back into the heart of the fence where he finds Nkepe. And Nkepe on the ball there looks inward and finds Lewis Kelly, but the referee allows a play to continue. Ruta on the ball there, beats his man there, returns it back into the defense. They find his defender Bosgali there. Bosgali finds Ek, and Ek on the ball there, returns it back to Bosgali, and Bosgali on the ball there for Brighton, looks onto the wing there, finds his teammate Cypher on the ball there, returns it back to Bosgali, and Bosgali would hold on to it and comes inward with the ball, tries to play in his striker Simash there. It was easily brought down there by Mosquera, which the referee has judged to be a free kick right there to Brighton. 22 minutes gone in that game. Still Arsenal 0, Brighton 0. Chelsea in possession. Dose Adarabioyo on the ball there for the Blues and looks inward and finds Bonenot. Bonenot finds his Chelsea teammate Romeo Lavia, and Lavia will hold on to the ball there onto the wing there, finds Atto. Atto will approach the Brighton the Wolverhampton box for Chelsea, finds Jimmy Gittins, who has a pair of assists in this one, and Jimmy Gittins with the ball sends across into the box, but that evaded all the Chelsea players straight into the hands of Osesa and Wolverhampton goalkeeper. 22 minutes gone in that one also, as Chelsea leading 2-0 away from home, and we also have a solidarity goal in that game between Swansea and Manchester City. 22 minutes gone in that one also, Swansea who are leading 1-0 against the Manchester City. Liverpool 0, Crystal Palace 0 at the 23rd minute, and we also have the latest one which has just started. It's Newcastle against Tottenham, another big game tonight.
Yeah, definitely. The current order of the competition, talking about the EFL Carabao Cup. So the reigning Europa Conference League winner So it's definitely a big one. We know when both team meet, it always produce goal. And if you look at the last, the set of result against both teams, especially when the Newcastle is at home, you want to give it to Newcastle.
Okay, looking at the Liverpool starting 11, that game is still 0-0 between Liverpool and Crystal Palace at the 23rd minute. Woodman is the goalkeeper for Liverpool. We have Ramsey in the face, Joe Gomez, Robertson, and also KK is playing as a fullback in this encounter. In midfield, we have Endo and Yoni, while up front is Morrison, Alex, McAllister, and also Ungumoa, and white Loma striker Chiesa in this one.
Honestly.
It's a funny starting level for Liverpool.
Yeah, and if you think that is funny, you look at the bench, you see that it's even more funnier because honestly, I don't know what the manager talking about and his plot, is thinking about the lineup. Probably he wants to exit the competition and face the
Champions League and the league,
because you are playing against a team that has been a thorn in the flesh of Liverpool for some time now. You are starting this kind of well, I just hope the home crowd will be able to help the team tonight.
Okay, as I'm looking at Crystal Palace starting 11, they're also not starting with their first choice goalkeeper. They chose Benitez to start at goalpost, but they have the experience of Magui, the captain, of starting in the back three, across, also having Lacroix and Canvot, while in midfield we have Muniz, Hughes, Kamada, and Sosa. We have Pino, Yeri Pino, Ibrahim Assar, that is another dangerous player, and up front is a Loma striker in KTI. It seems Crystal Palace are not yet to joke with the starting 11.
Definitely, they want to take all 3 points, aside from the goalkeeper and probably Meteta that is not starting. I think they have a very strong and good lineup, and they want to continue to dominate Liverpool with that.
Okay, as I'm still 0-0 in that game between Arsenal and Brighton at the 25th minute of that encounter. And don't forget, the Flamingos of Nigeria crashed out of the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup yesterday as they lost 4-0 to Italy in that encounter. And also the Super Falcons of Nigeria, the defending champions of the WAFCON, also qualified for the WAFCON. The next WAFCON also still be hosted by Morocco, playing out a 1-1 draw against the Amazons of Benin. After the first leg, the Nigerian girls won that game 2-0 right there in Togo before coming home to Abeokuta to defeat the Amazons up to play out a 1-1 draw against the Amazons yesterday. Brighton in possession against the Gunners. What would they make out of that? Ruta on the ball there finds his teammate, and you might just be a chance for Brighton. They keep on creating these chances, but fortunately putting into the back of the net has really been a big problem for Brighton against the Gunners.
Yeah, and you look at Arsenal defense. I think probably the back four. This is the first time they will be playing together. Will be one of the reasons. And Lewis Kelly has been very guilty of giving the ball away to Brighton. I think he has been.
Is it too much? Is it overconfidence that has been the problem for Lewis Kelly?
I think so.
Holding on to the ball and losing the ball in dangerous positions.
In a dangerous position,
He looks absent in this game to me.
And he has been dispossessed about 2 or 3 times in this game in a very, very dangerous position. And I just want to confirm if there's a VAR at this stage of the competition.
I doubt it is VAR
because there was a potential penalty call in the game involving Chelsea, and but I don't think there was VAR.
There's no VAR that one. Malo Gusto with the ball there for Chelsea, sent it straight into the path of the younger Esteval, who tries to go straight for a collar there, but that ball kept on rising. Looking at the Arsenal starting 11, it's 4-3-3, which has always been Arsenal's favorite starting formation into games. Arisa Balaga is the goalkeeper. We have Ben White, Mosquera in Capie, Lewis Kelly as the defenders. In midfield is the captain Merino, Nogard, and also Ethan Nwaneri. Up front we have Eze, Arnolds, and also Max Doman. We've seen Max Doman during the preseason, shows how good he is, but still this young man sporting jersey number 71 rather, Arnolds. How good is he?
Yeah, we've seen also him in the preseason. I think he's the under 21 striker.
He's not 17 years old or 18?
I think it's same age as
Lewis
Kelly. No,
Lewis Kelly.
Yeah, I think it's between 7. No, not same age, because Doman is 15 while he's about 17. So we've not really seen much from him, but we hope to see him performing tonight.
Okay, that's why he breaks into this game. Beautiful piece of skill there from Ben White as a leader. The search for an Arsenal attack. Eberichi Eze on the ball. The referee has judged out to be an offside call against the England international. Just in possession. Estevao finding Malo Gusto. Malo Gusto sending an in-swinger into the box there. Chance for Chelsea. Well, that went rising over the goalpost from Andres Santos. Which is not enough. Which is not okay with just one scored in this game. He wants to double his lead, his goal rather in this account. And sends that into Western, that crashing across the goalpost. That went over way over target in that one. It's still 0-0 in that one at the 27th minute of that encounter. I'm going to the Swansea game where Swansea are leading surprisingly against Manchester City. 1-0, they're still leading that encounter. We'll be looking at the Swansea and Manchester City starting 11 very soon. But before that, still 0-0 at the 29th minute. So we would have expected no goal in the Arsenal game in the opening 29 minutes.
Well, yeah, I expected it because you look at Arsenal game this season. It has always been very, very, cagey most part of the first half, and but with the way Brighton started, you would have expected at least a goal to have come in from either side, because Brighton have had about 3-4 shots on
There will have been an assist from Tolu Arokodare there, but the Chelsea midfielder that looks like, that was the Chelsea defender coming back to do block work for the Blues right there. Chelsea will look to attack against Wolverhampton right now. It looks like Wolverhampton are finally growing into this game. Yeah, might just be a chance for Brighton, where again another chance not going to the back of the net. You give that to the Arsenal defender. Beautiful piece of defending there from the Gunners.
Yeah, and I think the way should have gone, or no, I think that should be offside. But Kadioglu having the opportunity there, but Lewis Kelly, coming back to help out the defense there.
Yeah, that was Lewis Kelly coming back to do defensive work there for the Gunners at the 30th minute of this encounter. Still 0-0 in that encounter. We're expecting more goals from that one between Arsenal. We're expecting goals from that one between Arsenal and Brighton in that encounter. Looking at the only game where Swansea are currently 1 goal up against Manchester City. We would have thought of this coming into this game, that Swansea will be leading against Manchester City at the 30th minute of that encounter. Going straight to Swansea starting 11. Fisher is the goalkeeper. We have Jay, the provider of the goal scored by Franco, as the right back in this one. We have Casey. We have Bush, the captain. Samuel Smith, the Chelsea on loan player, and we also have Jay Timon in defense. Middle of the park, we have Wendell Franco, the goal scorer, and there's also Gabet and Inosa, while a low-man striker Ida is starting for Swansea in this account. Looking at the Manchester City's starting 11, Trafford, who lost out as the first choice goalkeeper to Donnarumma, who came in with a lot of experience from PSG, starts tonight for Manchester City. In defense, we have Rico Lewis, Kusanov, Nathan Ake, the captain, and also Nori is back and starting for Manchester City tonight. In the midfield, we have Mukasa and Nico Gonzalez. Up front is Oscar Bob, Ryan Cheki is also back, and Jeremy Doku, while up front is the low-man striker Omar Mamouche, is also back for Manchester City. Seems that they're having the complement of their players who were out injured back, in the team. Mamouche, Cheki, also Mamouche, Cheki, Nori, and Kusanov. These are 4 important players from Manchester City who are back in the team right now.
Yeah, and Pep Guardiola decided to give them the opportunity to regain full fitness, by starting them all tonight. Like I said earlier on, the robot himself is not available for this match, and we hope to see. This game will definitely give us a clue about Manchester City if they can play without Erling Haaland, because he has virtually been the only source of goals for Manchester City this season. So let's see how they do without him tonight.
Yes, and Wolverhampton coming up to attack against Chelsea there, where Tolu finds himself in offside position, and we allow that to roll up. Yes, and Chelsea back in possession, but losing possession almost immediately. Wolverhampton will attack against the Blues, sends it back into the midfield, finds Amogu there, and Amogu will come forward with the ball. Go straight for a shot there. But never threatened on the Chelsea goalkeeper. It's still 0-0 in that big one between Newcastle and Tottenham at the 17th minute. And looking at the starting 11, it's Ramsdale as the starting goalkeeper for Newcastle. We have a Kraft in defense, Shah, Teal, and Dambon, the captain. In midfield trio of J. Ramsey, Tonali, and Willock. Up front is the Langa, Watermaid, and also Barnes. This is a strong Newcastle starting 11 tonight.
Definitely very strong Newcastle starting line of probably minus one or two players there. The goalkeeper, talking about the goalkeeper, but Newcastle, they really want to defend the competition, so that's why they had to start.
What's this from Joe Gessi, for Christ's sake? Yeah, by just very chance, the referee had spotted an infringement in the middle, in the Chelsea's defense there, or the Chelsea box rather. That looks like a dangerous play there from Joe Gessi. This is my biggest problem with playing out from the back.
Yeah, he almost. I think the referee out to blow the whistle because. The Wolf player there was all over the Chelsea, but that was a very dangerous pass there from the goalkeeper.
Jimmy gets his way attack for Chelsea right now and finds himself in the Wolverhampton box. What will he make of that? Goes out wide there and finds beautiful piece done there from Chelsea. But Jimmy Gittins couldn't get onto the end of that, so it rolls out for a goal kick to Wolverhampton against Chelsea. Estevao presented with a beautiful chance there, but good defensive block right there from the Wolverhampton defenders to deny Chelsea a third goal in that one. We are straight into the 34th minute in our two-focus match. The Arsenal-Brighton game still 0-0 at the 34th minute. Wolverhampton against Chelsea. Chelsea leading 2-0 in that one, but Wolverhampton are not relenting as they are really trying to come back in this one against the Blues. There's still a lot of time to go in this encounter. Let's see if they can stage a miraculous comeback against the Blues in that encounter. Going straight to the starting 11 of Tottenham in this encounter. Kingsley is the goalkeeper for Tottenham Hotspur. A defense of Jesus Spain and Poro, the captain, both playing as fullbacks, and we have a centre pair of Danso and Paulinha. While in midfield, we have Pape Metasa and Bentancur, both pairing on the base of the Tottenham midfield. We also have Bavelli, Xavi Simons, we're still looking for his first goal in the Tottenham shirt, and also Brian Johnson. While it's a low-man striker, Richarlison. Another fantastic starting 11 from Tottenham. Both sides bringing in their best into this game.
Definitely, because both team, you expect both team to go for it, and though there are still changes also for Tottenham, but Tottenham not the manager wants to win the game. Given the fact that the last game they played, I think they won the last game against Everton, but this time around they also want to go far in the competition.
Okay, also in the DFB Poker, we have a surprising results or scoreline rather in that game between Köln and Bayern Munich. As Köln has gone one goal up in that game at the 31st minute, Ragnar Ach putting the first goal into the back of the net for Köln against Bayern Munich. Will this be the final? Will this finally be Bayern Munich's first loss in the season?
It might be, but there's still time. We saw Bayer Leverkusen. Also doing it tonight, but you have to take it to extra time before they could get win and progress to the next round.
Okay, so that's now with the free kick, and Iberici is starting over that and straight crashing into the wall. Iberici is back in possession for the Gunners and will lay that straight with this great chance for Arsenal's first goal. But straight into the hands of Steele, the goalkeeper has stole that off the Gunners on player leg. I think Ethan Waneri was one who was attacking that, but couldn't get close on goal. Iberici is with a dummy pass there straight into the path of his Arsenal teammate. Almost on the first goal for the Gunners. Oh, that was the young player Anos, chasing that, but unfortunately couldn't get onto that. What a chance that would have been for his first goal, but still had to steal that away from his leg, and it's still 0-0 in that game at the 36th minute of football being played at the Emirates Stadium. Chelsea still leading 2-0, and we have Wolverhampton who are finally growing into this encounter and trying to see if they can reduce the deficit. There's still a lot of minutes to play. Newcastle, it's a chance for Wolverhampton. But good defensive work there from the Chelsea midfielder. Bonenot has denied Wolverhampton a chance of reducing the deficit in this game. And I think Chelsea needs to be careful not to concede any goal in this first half against this Wolverhampton side.
Yeah, and we know what goals does to a team. When they get the goal, it's
look at that. That would likely be an own goal. But here's Wolverhampton's corner kick against Chelsea right there in the 36th minute. A long one into the box there. Chelsea's will clear their lines halfway, but straight into the part of the Wolverhampton player there. Here's a Chelsea in possession. It's out for a throw into Wolverhampton. Takes a shot one there, finds up his teammate as they look to attack against Chelsea. We have a Bayern Munich who has equalized. So early goal only lasted 5 minutes as Luis Diaz has equalized for Bayern Munich at the 36 minutes. Wolverhampton attacking against Chelsea, looking to reduce the deficit in this. So Amogu on the ball in the middle of the park for Wolverhampton, and they will go straight to the wing there. Sends a long one into the box, but straight into the hands of Joe Gessin, the Chelsea goalkeeper. 38 minutes gone. It's Wolverhampton 0, Chelsea 2 in that account. And here we have Van Eyck with the ball there as he comes forward with the ball, looks inward into the midfield and finds his teammate, who returns it back to Van Eyck, and Van Eyck will find Coppola, and Coppola on the ball there, goes straight to the wing and finds Kadioglu. And returning back to Coppola. Coppola finds Van Eyck. Van Eyck coming forward with the ball there for Brighton. What would they make out of that? Sends a long one. Tries to play in the run of Rutter, but Eberechi gathers that for Arsenal. Yes, Arsenal will look to attack. Eberechi called into action. Hold on to the ball there. Returns it back into the defense where he finds Nkape straight into the path of Ben White. Ben White looks ahead of him and finds his Arsenal teammates sporting his jersey number 22 right there in Nwaneri, and Nwaneri losing the ball straight into the path of Gomez, and Gomez coming forward and looks inward and finds his teammate there, looks to attack and straight onto wing there where he finds Rutter. Rutter will come inward and he might just be a chance for a first goal. Would that be it? So beautiful defensive work there from the Gunners, denying Brighton a chance of getting their first goal in this one. Mosquera doing the clearance there, and another corner kick for Brighton right there at the 39th minute.
I think that was a great block there from Mosquera there. Brighton finding it.
Do you think that would have gone into the back of them? But the way they are opening up the Arsenal defense, the way the passes are finding the pocket, it's really, really dangerous.
I think if that ball had gone at the back of the net, I think one should be give a blame there, because he gave the ball away straight under no pressure to Brighton to attack the Arsenal defense.
Yes, Chelsea attacking, and it's a corner kick for Brighton. Let's see what they make out of that at the 40th minute. 5 more minutes to play in regulation time. A long one for Brighton. Oh, what a chance for Brighton, but fortunately not into the back of the net. And Van Eyck will be feeling undone there. That should have gone into the back of the net. Chelsea attacking against Wolverhampton right there, also at the 40th minute, but straight into the hand for Ostesa, the Brighton goalkeeper, as he gathers that for Brighton. And looking at it, Manchester City are back also in that one against Swansea, as they find their equalizer in that one. And also we have the first goal in that game between Newcastle and Tottenham Hotspur. Is Newcastle 1. I think that goal has been chalked up for offside. It's Jeremy Doku with the equalizer for Manchester City at the 39th minute.
Yeah, you definitely expect Man City to come back, and they've leveled the game. So let's see how they go on now.
And that's the confirmation. Newcastle 1, Tottenham 0, and it's Fabian Schär with the first goal at the 24th minute for the Magpies.
Yeah, and like I said, expect Newcastle, because look at the trend when both teams meet. It's always in favor of Newcastle at home there, and I hope it's not going to be a long night for Tottenham Hotspur.
And it's about turning into a long night for Liverpool, as Crystal Palace has broken the back of the net and scored the first goal right there at the 40th minute. It's Chelsea with the third goal in that one. Estevao, the boy from Brazil, the 18 years old teenage player there, getting the third goal for Chelsea. Osesa. And there's a big problem tonight for Wolverhampton to come back in this one.
Yeah, and it's going from bad to worse for Wolverhampton Wanderers. The mountain, I think they've doubled the.
I was still complaining about this playing from the back from the Chelsea goalkeeper. Look at that dink from the young Estevao there. Beautiful piece of goal from him. You have to give it to Andres Santos for charging the goalkeeper, the player that way, and forcing him into losing that ball in a dangerous position for Chelsea's third goal in this one. Estevao with the third goal for the Blues. And what a first half of Chelsea are having in this game against Wolverhampton.
Yeah, and the goals are beginning to pour in across all centre, apart from probably a featured man now, talking about the game involving Arsenal. And
with this very chance for Arsenal's first goal, and yeah, he's Arsenal attacking right there. Sends it back to Max Doan, and Doan holds onto the ball there, finds his teammate in the middle of the park there. Arsenal in possession, Mosquera on the ball there, but chooses to go out wide and finds Noga there. Noga straight onto the wing there, finds Ben White, and Ben White look inward, tries to play into the part of his Arsenal teammate. Here's Arsenal in possession, returns it back into the midfield. Mosquera finds Nketiah, and Nketiah on the ball there, moves outwards and finds Lewis Kelly, returns it back to Nketiah. Nketiah back to Mosquera. Arsenal be pegged back to their own box right now in that game. 42nd minute, Brighton 0, Arsenal 0. Brighton have seen the better share, have seen the better opportunities of getting a goal in as a counter, but thanks to the magnificent defensive work of the goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga, who has denied Brighton chances upon chances in this game of getting the first goal. And also Crystal Palace one goal up against Liverpool. It's fast on Liverpool, fast on into Crystal Palace, a customer right now. Ibrahim Assa with the first goal.
Yeah, Ismail Assar,
Ismail,
yeah, he's one of those players that's always caused problem for Liverpool. And to be honestly, look at the Liverpool lineup today. You definitely, want to give it
a chance there for Todua Kudari, but the Nigerian international couldn't pull out into the back of the net for Wolverhampton right there at the 43rd minute. A beautiful piece of skill, a beautiful piece of a free kick play there. It was a free header there for Todua Kudari. You expect him to do better?
Yeah, I was just trying to see if there's offside there because and he couldn't direct that one, and you see the reason why he cannot bench Larson, who is I think is on the bench for this game.
Yes, let's see how it goes right now. The only center yet to provide a goal for us has to be the Arsenal against the Brighton game, and that game is also at the 43rd minute, and it's still 0-0 between Arsenal and Brighton. Free kick to Arsenal right there at the 44th minute. 1 more minute to play in the first half regulation time. Kepa Arrizabalaga will be playing out this free kick for the Gunners. Just not enough, or the 3 goals are not enough for the Blues as they're going out for a 4th one in this first half, turning this game away from a contest. There might just be a chance for Brighton, for Wolverhampton. Unfortunately, Chelsea will be out there defending and straight into the part of the player spotting jersey number 8 for Brighton there. For Wolverhampton. But here's the Wolverhampton coming up to attack against the Blues. The Wolf on the ball there, looks at what there, finds his teammate there. And what would they make of that? Jones returning back into the middle of the park. He's still Wolverhampton. They're playing and coming all out, trying to reduce the deficit in this one. Beautiful pick down there by Ang. Here's Wang with the ball there. What would he make of that? Returns it back into the middle, finds his teammates Gomez, and Gomez returns it back to Wang. Wang finds Gomez. Gomez will come inward there, drops the ball to Amogu, returns it back to Gomez. And yes, Wolverhampton who have been pegged back also to their own defense in this one. Mosquera on the ball there, finds Gomez, and they look to attack against Chelsea and finds the Wolf there. What would they make of that? Returns it back to his teammates. And yes, still Wolverhampton in possession for the last minute of regulation time in first half. It's the 45th minute, and it's Chelsea 3, Wolverhampton 0. Arsenal in possession. Eberechi is on the ball there, returns it back to Lewis Kelly, and Lewis Kelly looks in what they finds his teammates. Arsenal looks to attack right now against Wolverhampton. 45th minute. See any chance of Arsenal of stealing an halftime lead in this one against Wolverhampton, against Brighton rather.
Yeah, it's definitely it's looking like it will end in a stalemate in this first half because Arsenal not really doing the attacking work, and they're not getting closer to the goalkeeper to my liking.
Max Doan, another ball there for the Gunners. They'll beat his man and finds himself in the box there and returns it straight into the paths of Ben White. Ben White with a long one there, but there's nobody to put the finishing touch onto that. And yeah, he's Brighton will look to break out against Arsenal. Arsenal back in possession. You might just be Charles Berich is there on the ball there, cuts inward with the ball. And what would the England international make of that? Returns it back to his teammate. What was it thinking there? And yes, Brighton will finally clear the lines. Straight, we have a 1 minute apiece being added at the end of the 45th minute in this game between Chelsea and Brighton, and also the game between Wolverhampton and Chelsea is 3 minutes additional time in that one. Wolverhampton trading Chelsea by 3 goals in that one. And Crystal Palace has doubled their lead against Liverpool. Ismail Assar with his second goal within 4 minutes. He scored the first one in the 41st minute and is getting the second one in the 45th minute.
Yeah, and it's looking like all Liverpool fans will walk alone tonight. And no, they're at home now, but I think they it's getting from bad to worse for Liverpool, having lost about four, or this will be the 5 consecutive loss, probably no 4 consecutive loss in England for them. If you exclude
And the first turning into what's it called, the Crystal Palace customer. I saw the press conference from the from the Liverpool's manager.
I think he declined for tonight's press conference. He actually declined to the press conference, but he has been complaining about long balls and the number of minutes.
He was actually complaining about teams changing pattern against Liverpool. Is that a valid criticism?
I don't think that's a valid reason for you to continue to lose. You don't determine how your opponents play. Yeah, you set up to play to your own, and they themselves, they have a tactics or how they play, and the opponent also work on them. So he needs to grow up and stop those complaining. Last season he wasn't complaining about opponent because everything was going smooth, but this season now I think the excuse is too much.
Okay, it's halftime at the Emirates Stadium. It's Arsenal 0, Brighton 0. Both sides going straight against each other, but fortunately we couldn't get a goal at the Emirates Stadium. Hopefully we'll be getting 1 or 2 in the second half when this game kick starts for the second half. Still to the games that we are having live the 4 centers where we've seen goals tonight. Newcastle 1, Tottenham 0 as it stands right now. Wolverhampton 0, Chelsea 3 at the 45th plus minute. We also have Swansea 1, Manchester City 1. That is the most surprising scoreline tonight. That game is already at halftime. Liverpool trailing at home at the Anfield 2-0 against their new customers. Really always happy whenever they face Liverpool right now. Crystal Palace 2, Liverpool 0 as it stands right now. It's also halftime at the Millennium Stadium where Wolverhampton are trailing 3-0 at home against Chelsea. 3 goals in the first half, 2 from Brazilians for Chelsea in that game. Andre Santos with the first goal at the 5th minute. Tyreek George doubled the lead at the 15th minute, and Estevao with a dink at the 41st minute to send Chelsea into 3-0 halftime lead. I can't remember the last time Chelsea led a team 3-0 at halftime.
It's been a long time, and they found an opportunity today and they've taken it against Wolverhampton Wanderers.
And if there's one thing, you score one against this team, Bayern Munich, you don't have to celebrate it like you're winning, because right now they've turned it from losing situation to a leading situation. The first goal was scored by Ragnar Ache in the 31st minute to send Cons fans into wide jubilation. Luis Diaz equalized for Bayern Munich at the 36th minute, and 2 minutes later, Harry Kane, the man of the moment, getting the second goal for Bayern Munich in that encounter. Starting Harry Kane in a game like the FB Poker shows that we have a manager who is not ready to see one cup as a small cup.
Yeah, and he's playing also a team that is presently in the top flight league out there in Germany, but despite that, he wants to take all competition very sorry. When the lineup came out, I actually checked to see, and surprisingly, I was seeing Harry Kane starting. I expected him to have rested him and allowed probably Nicholas Jackson to have started, but Company is a manager that doesn't want to take any chances at all.
Okay, what are the chances of Harry Kane winning the next Ballon d'Or?
It's definitely high. What he needs to do is guide them to which he has been doing in the league now, then the Champions League also, and probably
England
England at the World Cup push them. Probably they might not win it, but at least make them go very far. And his numbers are very great. So if he continues to put in the ball at the back of the net, I think he has a very great shot for it.
Okay, it's also halftime in that game between Swansea and Manchester City, ending 1-1 at halftime. Liverpool trailing 2-0 against Crystal Palace, and that game is at the 46th minute. Would have thought of that in this account. Brighton against Arsenal 0-0. Let's start our halftime analysis from the Emirates Stadium, which happens to be your club's home ground. 0-0 at halftime. Arsenal struggling to keep it in this game.
Yeah, honestly, I must confess that we are very lucky to have not been 2-3 goals down in the first half, and I just hope that now that they've gone for the little 10-15 minute pep talk in the dressing room, the manager will definitely encourage the boys and put them up to the task, or probably coming on with some changes. But overall, you look at it, that's not just dominating possession, but you see anytime Brighton attack Arsenal, they look like they will get a goal thanks to Kepa Arrizabalaga, who has been very very good for them, and some great defending by Mosquera in this game. But overall, I'm not really impressed with how
I expect Arsenal fans not to be really impressed with how Arsenal's approach this game. Zero big chances for Arsenal even after dominating possession, having 53% of the ball possession in the first half. You guys just managed 3 total shots, unlike Arsenal.
Yeah, and unlike Arsenal, but it's as a result of we not really attacking. The possession we had is based on because we continue to pass the ball around the back and the midfield, not attacking their goal post, and that is the reason why we are having just 3 total shots, and it's not an encouraging or good one for us. At home against Brighton, you expect us to be dominating in terms of shots in this game, but so far it's Brighton who are doing that.
Yeah, surely you'll have expected Arsenal to dominate in front of shots, but fortunately here we have Brighton with 10 total shots and 3 big chances in this game, but fortunately no goal for Brighton. Will this come back to alt Brighton in this game?
I said one thing earlier on that if Brighton failed to win the first half, it might come back to haunt them, because they had every opportunity now to have won the game in the first half. Though it's not over yet, but I believe when Arsenal come in the second half, there might be changes, and things might get take another turn, and you see Arsenal going forward or getting the goal and win the game.
Let's see if the Gunners can come up to win this encounter against the Brighton, who has seen 3 total shots on target in the first half. Arsenal with 0 shots on target in the whole of the first half, and I think it has to be with the younger player who is starting up front as a striker for the Gunners. Arnos, it seems out to have been a bit isolated up front in this game.
Yeah, he hasn't really had done much in this game, other than when he almost collided with the goalkeeper there, and he hasn't really been fair, and I think he'll be lucky if he comes in with the team in the second half. Yeah.
Okay, as I'm looking at, also we have on this player the younger Max Doan, who has also struggled a bit in this encounter for physicality. He has almost been eaten in this game by keeper.
Yeah, I think apart from the physicality, he has done well to take on 1, 2, 3 players, but I think the physicality is still not there, but continue to grow in confidence.
Okay, also let's look at the Gunners bench, where we have David Raya, Gabriel Macias, Magalhaes, Julian Timber, Ricardo Caliafori, Martin Zubimendi, Declan Rice on the bench, Victor Gyökeres, Leandro Trossard, and Bukayo Saka. Do you think it's very much possible Arsenal sends in Victor Gyökeres for the second half, looking at the fact that he also needs some goals in his bag?
Yeah, and I expect him to come on, and probably also Bukayo Saka and go, and for what's his name, Gyökeres is the striker that needs to put the ball at the back of the net, and this tonight could be his opportunity.
Okay, there's also Bukayo Saka on the bench. Bukayo Saka coming in for Max Doan, or you expect Max Doan to continue in the second half?
No, I expect him to come on for Max Doman, and probably what's his name, Declan Rice also coming on for Nwaneri, because to be honest, I think Nwaneri has been very very poor in this game. To me, he's the most disappointed player on the pitch for me, because he has given out the ball away too many times. Also Lewis Kelly, but at the same time you see Lewis Kelly, I think Lewis Kelly on is probably, like you said earlier on, overconfidence, trying to take on players in a dangerous position. But I think Nwaneri needs to be taken out and allowing Eze to drop.
Okay, lastly on the Gunners, I'm talking about the centre back pair. We've seen Saliba and Gabriel, forming one of the formidable centre back pair in the world of football. They are one of the very best centre back pair, and that is why they've conceded just 3 goals together in the league this season. Right now, we've seen a lot of openings, though Brighton unfortunately have not been able to score. But do you think Mosquera and Ikape they have what it takes to build that kind of partnership like we have with Saliba and Gabriel?
Yeah, I think with time, and if they continue to have playing time, and they will definitely build it. You could see that they are still trying, but they've not played together before. And in fact, the back line, they are just playing for the very, first time. But with time, they can, because we've seen with Mosquera, I think he can form a good partnership with either Gabriel and Saliba, or him and either Gabriel and Saliba, because he has played with both of them and he did very well. So for Nkapa, we've not really seen much of him, but tonight I think it's it looks very promising, and if both of them can continue to get playing time, they might definitely lead.
Okay, the biggest problem for Brighton, who I'm very sure the manager will be looking at the halftime, talking about Fabian Ruzelia, the manager of Brighton, has to be talking to Ruta and Simash, as the both are presented with the very best opportunities for Brighton to go ahead in the first half. Unfortunately, both players wasted their chances in the first half. Do you think they've wasted their best chances in this game?
Yeah, as it stands now, I think they've wasted not just the best their own, but overall best chance so far in this game. They've wasted it. Surprisingly, what's his name? The first chance by Jorginho Rita. I think the goalkeeper came up, but I think he should be doing better. And the second one also, and the manager will be, looking at both of them in the dressing room now, saying, two of you are the reason why we are not leading this game at the moment.
Okay, also going straight to the game between Chelsea and Wolverhampton. We'll start the first goal from Andres Santos. An unlikely source for a goal for Chelsea, but he'll take his goal. Beautiful piece of goal there from the Brazilian to put the first goal into the box for Chelsea. And one man who's still looking for his first goal, but he has got it to assist in this game, has to be Jamie Gittes.
Yeah, and he has provided 2 goals so far, and I think you look at the way Wolves have set up in this game. They set up in a way that if care is not taken, they can concede 7, because you look at, is it the 3rd goal? In fact, you look at the 3 goal Chelsea scored. I think they should be doing better defensively, and it's really going from bad to worse for them overall, not just in the League Cup, but also even in the league. And the manager, he recently signed new contract, I think about 2 weeks ago, or probably not up to 2 weeks now, and I won't be surprised if it's relief of his duty.
Okay, let's see if that is going to be happening. If Wolverhampton will be sucking the manager, one man who has been struggling for Wolverhampton has to be Tolu Arokodare, the Nigerian striker. He was the top goal scorer in the Belgian league. He has struggled for time and playing time right here at Wolverhampton. Is it because he's changing leagues? Because this is not looking like the Tolu Arokodare we were seeing in the Belgium league.
Yeah, the Belgium league is quite different. I don't think it's because it's changing league, but if you ask me, because you see Strand Larsen, he also joined them last season on loan from the Spanish league, and he adapted. Even he wasn't getting much goal, but you see how he was playing. You see that this is a player that he has the potential, and over the last transfer window, they made his due permanent, and even when they made his due permanent, Newcastle were still bidding for him, trying to replace him with Alexander Isak, but Wolf held on to him. And Tolu Arokodare, now this opportunity you've got now for you to be started, and he had opportunity in this game, but he directed his head, the header wide, and he needs to do better. And one of the goals Chelsea scored, I think it was one of the he couldn't.
The first goal scored by Chelsea.
So not only him, I think most Nigerians join because we have Samuel Chukwueze also, who is in the league now. We hardly heard of him. He hardly had the playing time. Even Crisanto Uche, who was doing better at Getafe, now is struggling at Crystal Palace. Tonight, he couldn't even make the lineup, despite Liverpool playing with probably their 3rd or 4th team, and Crisanto Uche is still on the bench for Crystal Palace. So I think the Nigerians are struggling.
It's left to see if Crisanto Uche will be coming into that game between Liverpool and Crystal Palace. Liverpool currently trailing 2-0. When you saw the starting 11 at the bench of Liverpool, it was expected that they were going to lose against Crystal Palace. And now they are trailing 2-0. Anyway, back into this one for Liverpool.
Well, it would be a miracle, because if they had maybe a stronger bench, you would have thought, okay, the manager will bring them. But look at the bench, and I don't understand what the manager is doing. Playing Robertson, Kekes together, I don't even know where they are playing, and it's a very, very disappointing one. And every Liverpool fan out there now, I don't know how they'll be feeling, and I think the manager now will be facing a lot of criticism. Those fans have been backing him. At this stage, they will say, no, because I see no reason why you bench almost the entire,
It's never about benching the entire team
In
right
fact,
now. How
they
many
were
of them is on the bench?
They were not even on the bench, so I don't know what is happening. What is he planning for?
Again, talking about the man who has a better bench in this encounter, Levi Glasner looks like he has on the antidote to Liverpool. Leading them 2-0
Mepeta is
at
still on the
halftime.
bench.
And we have looking at the Crystal Palace bench. The first choice goalkeeper, Dean Anderson's on the bench. You have Nathan Klein on the bench, Rio Cadnis on the bench, Tyreek Mitchell, Jefferson Lomar, Roman AC, and we also have Justin Deveni, Chrysantos Uche, and Jean Pepe Matata on the bench for Crystal Palace. This is a solid bench for Crystal Palace in this encounter.
Yeah, they came with all their full squad, and if you ask me if there's a way for Liverpool, I don't know. I don't think Liverpool will even get a go, and in this game, if they eventually get a go, I think it will probably be a consolation to them. So for Liverpool, I expect Crystal Palace to even come in the second half and add more goals.
Okay, it's the 45th minute plus in that game between Newcastle and Tottenham Hotspur. Newcastle 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0 as it stands right now at the 47th minute. One man who has been struggling with Tottenham Hotspur has to be Xavi Simons. Still looking for his first goal. He was a lot of noise on that man head when he was coming from Leipzig. At a point we were expecting him to join Chelsea, but he finally moved up to Tottenham Hotspur, where he has struggled to get a goal since joining in. Is this settling in that is the problem, or the heaviness of playing in the English and in the English league?
I think it's good. Though he has had probably a couple of assists for Newcastle, but I think he's struggling, and also the playing style, because you look at how they play, and he play even the position he plays at Leipzig also matters, and so far. It's really struggling, and you look at the boost around his transfer, and even when he came, he said he joined his dream club, after almost signing for Chelsea, but he definitely come good, when all their players are fit.
Okay, it's the restart of the second half, and it's Arsenal going out for the first one in this one. And still looking for a first shot on target in the early stages of the second half. No substitution from Arsenal, no substitution from Brighton for the restart of the second half. So we still have the complement of the first 11 that started for both sides, returning onto the pitch. Still no change also for Chelsea, who are currently leading 3-0 against Wolverhampton. But Wolverhampton made 2 substitutions. Here's a chance for Arsenal. Will this be a chance for their first goal? Will it be the chance for their first shot on target? But chose to go out of the box there. And yes, still the Gunners in possession. And we have Incape on the ball there, looks inward into the middle, finds his teammate Arsenal from right to left, and from left to right now. Still looks to attack against Brighton. What will they make out of that? And it seems like the Gunners are smoking hot in the second half.
Yeah, I think they've come out better in this second half, and this could be the opportunity for
yes, Max Doan with that big penalty. And the Wolverhampton players are saying he actually dived there. Is there a dive? Yes. The referee says that is not going to be a penalty to us now.
Yeah, and a goal kick. And just to put it out there, Brighton made substitution at
they made 2 substitutions.
Yeah,
and we've seen Doherty out, and we've seen Rodrigo Gomez replace Doherty. And we also see what's he called? We also have I think they made 3 substitutions coming into the second half. We also have Lopez Bill withdrawn in this game. We saw Marshall Munesi coming into this game. We also see Gomez out. We have Ladislav Krashik thrown into this game, and we also have Rodrigo Gomez also into this encounter. That's is it 2 or 3 substitutions? I think I'm seeing 3 substitutions from Wolverhampton coming into the second half. Yes, Doherty being withdrawn, Lopez also being withdrawn in this game. Yes, 2 substitutions from Wolverhampton.
Yeah, and I think they needed it, because I think they made one in the first half. They made one in the first half. Yeah, and that was towards the ending of the game. And I think the manager needed to bring in,
they made one in the first half. That was Gomez coming in. Unfortunately, Gomez picked up a yellow card in the first half when he came in, so he's not starting the second half because Ladislav Krachik has been sent onto the pitch, while Rodrigo Gomez has also been replaced in this encounter.
I just hope he's not the yellow card. That was why it was substituted, because you cannot come in the 34th. He came in the 19th minute.
And just be a chance for Wolverhampton with a beat and into the back of the net. Tolu Arokodare has just reduced the deficit for Wolverhampton. It's 3-1 in at the counter. What a way to start the second half by the Wolverhampton side. And it's Tolu Arokodare reducing the deficit, and this can be the start of the magic for Wolverhampton.
It will be a magic film if
look at Chelsea. Look at how the defense was opening, and what was that from the Chelsea's midfielder there, who couldn't juggle back to defend there. Beautiful piece of goal there from Tolu Arokodare. As he picked the spot, you would have expected Romeo Lavia to join the defense in defending there.
Yeah, and that was another bad defending from Chelsea. And
Chelsea also up them against Sunderland in the league.
Yeah, and I think Chelsea problem also is not being able to keep clean sheets. And they always find a way, to allow the opponent to get it. Even when Hayes went down with a man down, they still scored. So it's defensively for Chelsea, they need to work on that.
Okay, as Wolverhampton with the first goal in the second half in our various Carabao Cup games tonight, and Chelsea will look to attack right now and restore their 3 goals lead. They cross into the box there. Unfortunately, that won't be going to the back of the net. Wolverhampton will be looking to get the second goal, start the second half and turn it into a big contest against Chelsea. Yeah, he's a Brighton. Beautiful piece of shots there. A beautiful big save there from the Arsenal's goalkeeper, Kepa Arrizabalaga, to deny Brighton a chance at goal there.
Yeah, and I don't know if Mikateta is actually enjoying the show tonight, because it's not looking very, very funny.
You don't give Brighton all this room to pick a shot. I remember when we had Sissio playing for Brighton. For Brighton, a shot from that distance might have just gone into the back of the net from Sissio.
Yeah, and it's you profit from this kind of situations, but so far I think Arsenal need changes more than anything, because though Brighton have made one substitution in this game, but Arsenal needs to also make changes before it's too late.
Okay, it's halftime in that game between Newcastle and Tottenham Hotspur. Newcastle taking 1-0 lead into halftime. Here's Arokodare chasing through the channel again, looking for his second goal, but Joe Gessin gathers this for Chelsea. Long ball from the Chelsea goalkeeper. Atto got a head onto that. Was Wolverhampton, who are currently in possession and enjoy the better share of possession in this encounter against Chelsea. They look out to attack against the Blues again. Sends a long one into the box there, but Chelsea gathers that. Here's Chelsea in possession. What would they make out of that? Still holds on to the ball there. Big brother referee last place to continue. Says that was a fair challenge on the Chelsea player. Wolverhampton in possession, not ready to play out that ball for fair play. And it's Chelsea who are back in possession, loses the ball most immediately to Wolverhampton. Yeah, it's finally roll out for a throw into Wolverhampton.
Yeah, and I think there's a player down because the shot was
there.
Yeah, so. These are the medical and Chelsea. The pressure is beginning to pile on Chelsea.
And that's one thing about conceding goals. And looking at the players starting for Chelsea, these are relatively young players. And when the pressure actually gets too much, they can actually find themselves in problem.
Yeah, and but three. Though there's still 2 goals for them to protect in this game, but they don't need to concede the next goal again, because if they concede the next goal, although Chelsea still have the opportunity of calling.
Yes, Arsenal attacking. Iberici is here on the ball there for the Gunners. Cuts inward and holds on the ball. He has a Wolverhampton to play. Him tries to play it onto the part of his teammate there. Unfortunately, at the 53rd minute, the Gunners won't be getting the first goal. 8-1 area there. And Arsenal still looking for their first shot on target in this encounter.
Yeah, still looking for first shot. And, surprisingly, one area has not been withdrawn to me, has not been effective in these games. So I don't know what Mikateta is still waiting for.
Yeah, we have Jimmy Gittes, who's back on his feet and ready to continue this encounter. 52nd minute, a throw into Wolverhampton. Was gotten the first goal in the opening 5 minutes of the second half. Will they be able to double it? And a long cross into the box there. The Chelsea goalkeeper will come out to gather that and spill that straight into the part of the Wolverhampton player. And here's Wolverhampton in possession of the ball. Long one. Chelsea clearing their lines, and Wolverhampton coming up in the second half, attacking against the Blues. We didn't get this from Newcastle, Wolverhampton in the first half.
Yeah, and I don't know, it probably is as a result of what the manager actually, but they don't want to go down so easily. They want to fight at least show that they give their best. But I think it might have been too late for them now.
Yeah, let's see if it's actually too late for them because they are currently trailing Chelsea by 2 goals, which I don't really think is much. They just did the second goal to turn this game into a wide context. Let's see if that is going to happen because we are yet to see Chelsea grow into the counter in the second half. That's another tackle right there from the Wolverhampton player. You can see the Chelsea players going across against Wang there. And the players are not really okay with the tackle from the Chinese player there.
Yeah, the South
Korean. South Korea.
Yeah. And that was a very terrible tackle there, and I think you should be getting a card for that one. But
we have a lot of pushes from the players right there. Let's see the color of the yellow card. I think it should be a yellow card.
Yeah, it's actually a yellow card. Yeah.
Oh, I think he went into that pushing first. What I expect both players might be getting a yellow card. Finally, we have the Gunners the first shot on target in this game. At the 55th minute, and it's Zaman Eitan Waneri with the first shot on target for Arsenal.
Yeah, and that was a very good pass from Easy to find him, but the goalkeeper make that one look very easy.
Yeah, we have a yellow card right there to Wang. The Wolverhampton player Chan there, yes, he has picked up a yellow card for Wolverhampton. I had the 54th minute approaching the 55th minute in that encounter, and still 3-1 Chelsea leading that game. Yes, so we have one girl with the yellow card right there. So it's still 0-0 in that game between Arsenal and Brighton. 55 minutes gone. Chelsea coming forward right now and looking to restore their 3 goals lead in this one. Esteval on the ball there, returns it back and finds Malo Gusto. Malo Gusto looks inward, finds Achapong. Josh Achapong on the ball there, looks inward into midfield, finds Romeo Lavia, returns it back to Malo Gusto. Malo Gusto returns it back to Josh Achapong. Achapong on the ball there, goes out wide and finds his teammate Ato on the ball there, looks inward, finds Andre Santos. Santos with the ball there for Chelsea. What will he make out of that? Switches on wing and finds his teammate Malo Gusto, goes forward and finds Esteval. Esteval on the ball there, approaches on the Wolverhampton defender, takes a quick step on the ball there, and yes, Chelsea want in possession of the ball at the 55th minute when we've seen 10 minutes of action in the second half. And Chelsea leading 3-1 against Wolverhampton. Arsenal still looking for the first goal in this one.
Yeah, still looking for the first goal. And this
might just be a chance for the Gunners of first goal. And still Arsenal in possession of the ball. What would they make out of this? As they're looking to get one into this one. And Wolverhampton doing a lot of defensive work in the second half. I think we've seen a better shift from the Gunners in the second half than what we saw in the first half.
Yeah, but still they've not been able to open up the defense and create dangerous goal scoring opportunity, but I think they improve from the first half performance.
Here's the Berry chasing on the ball there, approaches on Wolverhampton the Brighton defense rather there, and he goes onto the ball. What will he make out of that? The England international, quick feet there from him, but he looks inward into the midfield and finds Nkapie straight to Mosquera. And Mosquera will come forward with the ball there for Arsenal. And looks inward and finds his teammate there. Arsenal in possession. No guy returns back to Mosquera. Mosquera on the ball there. And looks inward. The Arsenal players are asking for the pass. Well, you have about 9 Brighton players back there defending, and you can understand what Brighton are trying to do there. It's Arsenal on the counter.
Yeah, that's what they said, and they almost got it right in the first half, but.
Yes, Arsenal charge there in the box there with a beat and it's in the back of the net.
That's fine goal.
Arsenal finally put it out into the back of the net. It's the first goal for Arsenal in this encounter. And it's one breaking the deadlock right there at the 50th. Mikel Miranda rather breaking the deadlock right there at the 58th minute. And you can see the frustration on the face of the Brighton players. They know they should have scored in the first half. Well, Arsenal finally breaking with the first goal, not Mireno. We have Eitan Waneri with the first goal for Arsenal. Beautiful order play there from Iberichese. Releases it straight onto the part of his teammates. Moreno with the pass there. Sends it onto the part of Eitan Waneri, who stretched out still there. And there was nothing still could do there. Look at that from, what's it called? The assist from the Arsenal defender, Lewis Kelly there to set up his, also his Arsenal youth graduate, Eitan Waneri. You can see that goal was made right there from the Arsenal Academy. beautiful piece of goal from the Gunners to open or to break the score, the deadlock at the 57th minute. Arsenal 1, Brighton 0 at the 58th minute.
Yeah, that was a very, very good team goal. You could see the movement, the hold on play from Iberi Chiesi, who was very, very patient with the ball before finally releasing it. And a great ski from what's his name, the captain tonight, became ready to find Skelly. Skelly also, looking up and saw one who took the shot one time, and that's it.
All right, 58th minute gone in that one between Wolverhampton and Chelsea. It's Chelsea 3, Wolverhampton 1. Wolverhampton looking better as the charge against Chelsea in the second half there. And the Blues in possession, losing possession almost immediately. And Wolverhampton will attack against Chelsea. Almost a second goal right there for Arsenal. A bridge is with a stunning collar there. Well, now we're going to the back of the net. It's out for a corner kick out to the Gunners right there at the 59th minute. Arsenal smoking hot in the second half against Brighton.
Yeah, and that was, thanks to that deflection that could have ended at the back of the net there. And it's not looking like they want to, double the lead now.
Okay, yes, and let's say Wolverhampton will also be coming back in this one. 59th minute gone in. That's one we are straight into 1 more minute away from 1 hour of football at Wolverhampton's. Chelsea 3, Wolverhampton 1. The throw into Chelsea. Malo Gusto standing on this. Arsenal with the corner kick. Sends a long one into the box there. That's evaded all the Arsenal players in the box. Is out for a goal kick out to Brighton at the 60th minute. We'll see 1 hour of football already at the Emirates Stadium, and we're going straight into the last 30 minutes of that encounter. Do you think Arsenal can hang on to this 1-0 lead or go further and get a second goal?
Well, I think they need to, go further and get, the second goal to give themselves, a breathing space. One goal is not always.
And the goalkeeper could have done better there.
Yeah, but I think the ball actually,
it was actually faster than him.
Yeah. So, So Arsenal needs to at least, and the Arsenal we've seen this season, it's always very difficult when they score you first. They don't concede.
There's a free kick out to Wolverhampton. Sends it to the box there. Almost it. Almost doesn't do it in the game of football there. What a chance for Wolverhampton, but fortunately couldn't pull that into the back of the net. So it's going to be a goal kick out to Chelsea.
Yeah, and Wolf looking like they wants to come back in this game.
Like I said, anything is possible against Chelsea.
But it will be a very, very disappointing one. Ben 3.
We have Chelsea will making 3 substitutions of their own right now in this encounter. We also have the return of Leon Delap, who will be thrown into this game to play the next 30 minutes. Malo Gusto also being replaced by the Blues in this encounter. It seems that Chelsea are now ready to send in more experienced players.
I think that's what they need to definitely kill up all the threats from Wolf in this second half.
So we have Kukureya being thrown into this game. Enzo Fernandez also thrown into this game, and also Liam Delap, who is back for Chelsea.
Yeah, great to see him back after picking up that injury. He's been out
3 months
for a while now. Yeah, so let's see how he take up.
Do you think he has been missed by Chelsea?
I don't really think so, because though there are some people that say he has been missed because João Pedro has not been scoring for Chelsea. But when he joined Chelsea, he was not scoring, but João Pedro was scoring then. So I don't think he has really been missed because he hasn't really, even himself, the games he played, he hasn't really
Wolverhampton attacking against Chelsea, looking for a second goal with this great chance for Wolverhampton. Seconds, find himself in the Chelsea box, almost sending it across into the box. And that should be a corner kick out to Wolverhampton. And Wolverhampton players now really wanted the penalty there. Asking and saying there was an arm ball against the Chelsea defender there. Let's see that again. It looks like Arto actually got that to his hands, but the referee says that should be a corner kick at the 61st minute as we're approaching the 62nd minute. And barely 28 minutes to go in the second time. Corner kick there for Wolverhampton. Just to further reduce the deficit in this one. Wank standing on this corner kick, guilty for Wolverhampton. With this very chance for them to score a second goal against Chelsea. Look at us, a bit of issue in the Chelsea box there, but the referee has resolved that, and the corner kick finally taken for Wolverhampton. He's on 2-0 on the header there, but straight into the hands of the Chelsea goalkeeper, Jorgensen. Yes, that's now attacking Berichese on the ball there. One too much piece of skill there from the Arsenal midfielder. And Beliba returning back to the goalkeeper, still on the ball there for Brighton, as Brighton in possession at the act of the defense, returns back to still the goalkeeper. I still will be looking to find the Brighton player where he will drop out that pass, so comes inward into the out of his own box there. And as still with a long one, tries to play in his teammates. Arsenal quick to react and is out for a throw into Brighton in that encounter. 64 minutes gone in that one. Brighton will be having themselves to blame should they not win this game. And they'll be preparing. Tries to play in his Chelsea teammate. Esteval has also been withdrawn in this encounter, so there's no Esteval on the page. Jamie Gittins is still that man looking for his first goal for Chelsea. So we also have Tyreek George, who has also moved to the wing right now to accommodate Liam Delap, who is playing as a lone striker for the Blues in this encounter. Arsenal still leading 1-0 at the 65th minute of this encounter, and also to other fixtures where its scorelines has remained status quo, remains of the same. Newcastle 1 up against Tottenham is the restart of second half in that encounter. And also have Swansea 1, Manchester City 1, Liverpool still trailing 2-0 at home against the Crystal Palace. Arsenal 1, Brighton 0 at the 65th minute of that encounter. It might just be a chance for Brighton to reduce the deficit or to equalize in this encounter. Brighton possession of the ball, set it straight onto the part of his teammate. A long one into the box there. Well, that was sent out for a corner kick out of Brighton. 66 minutes gone in that one. Arsenal defending and hanging on to a slim lead. We've seen Arsenal, they know how to win those 1-0 games.
I think that's what that has been working for Arsenal so far this season. They know how to do that. But you look at the defense today is quite different from the one that usually do that. But let's see how these ones, handle the pressure also.
Oh yes, and Wolverhampton attacking against Chelsea again, and they've won themselves a throw-in. Tolu Aroko Dare finally coming to life in the second half of this encounter. He has also gotten a goal for himself in this game. Let's see if he can get some more goals against the Blues and show why he merits or he deserves to start games. So this Wolverhampton side, they currently throw 3-1 against Chelsea. Long throw is what we expect right now from Wolverhampton. With this very chance for them to further reduce the deficit. Brighton will attack against Arsenal, and that rolls out for a throw-in. So it's going to be a throw-in to Brighton against the Gunners right now. Long throw there, and still a chance for Wolverhampton with this beat straight into the hands of the Chelsea goalkeeper, almost crashing across against the Chelsea goalkeeper. With that, unfortunately, won't be going to the back of net. Chelsea will look to eat out on the counter. Trade substitution being prepared there by Brighton against Arsenal.
Yeah, they're about to make I think double or triple substitutions. Yeah, and the manager have seen enough of those ones are coming out. So let's see.
All right, it's going from bad to worse right there for Tottenham Hotspur as Newcastle has doubled their lead right there on the 50th minute is Nika Watermaid. What the second goal for Newcastle in that encounter. 50 minutes gone in that one. Newcastle 2, Tottenham 0. And seems Tottenham are about to be dumped out of the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, and I think Nick Watermaid has been probably one of the best signings so far this season because he came in with a
lot of expectations.
Not really a lot of expectation, but he came in. A lot of people think it was a panic buy because Newcastle were looking for somebody to replace Alexander Isak. Yeah, and he came in, but to be honest, he has been one of the best players so far. This is not just for only Newcastle, but in the league overall, and for Tottenham Hotspur, it's going from bad to worse.
Yeah, it's actually going from bad to worse, but they have a chance to redeem their image when they face off against Chelsea on Saturday, the EPL. You can join us on Premier Sports Fan Center for analysis and commentaries of that game. That is a big London derby coming up between Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur this weekend. Looking at that game, any chances of Chelsea getting a victory against Tottenham Hotspur, even though Tottenham looks like Chelsea's customer?
Yeah, Chelsea always defeat them.
This season looks like a different
But this
ball
season
game.
looks like, but you don't know the Tottenham that will definitely turn up. That's just the issue.
Yes, and a chance returns it back to the Chelsea goalkeeper Jurgensen, and Jurgensen will go out wide and finds Josh Archipong. Archipong playing that out of safety and out to a throw into Wolverhampton against Chelsea. Looking at Chelsea's benches, we've seen Chelsea make 3 substitutions. Mark Cucurella, Enzo Fernandez, Liam Delap all thrown into this game. Esteval being withdrawn, Romeo Lavia being withdrawn. Also, we also have Malo Gusto being withdrawn. We also have might just be a chance for Wolverhampton. Yeah, with that beat. Oh, good defensive work there from the Gunners.
Oh my goodness!
What a defensive work there from Mosquera to deny Brighton.
Is that Mosquera or I think the Mosquera was one that gave the ball away.
Let's see that
be the
again.
number.
Let's see that again.
That should be Skelly.
Oh, beautiful defensive work there from Arsenal there. Oh, yeah. Is that Skelly
No,
or Ikape?
Nkapa, yeah.
Ikape there doing the defensive work for. I think the goalkeeper also got that cover there, but Mascara was the one with the last block there for the Ghana. 70th minutes, and that was almost it. And Arsenal will also be making triple substitution. We'll be seeing Bukayo Saka, Julian Timber, and Ikepe as soon as last minutes played in this encounter. We've seen Gabriel also be thrown into this encounter at the 70th minute. 20 more minutes to go in this game.
Yeah.
And Arsenal making triple substitution.
Yeah, and Gabriel is seeing him coming in. Probably the Minister of Defense for Arsenal, gives him much relief as the fan of Arsenal when you see him coming up. And I think Nkepa, he hasn't played much, and I think he has enjoyed about more than an hour of football. Also, Ben White also, who has been battling injury for a very long time, and he has played more than an hour also.
And still Charles Wolverhampton with his beat, and it's what a save there from the Chelsea goalkeeper on Ed Jorgensen denied that.
Last almost celebrating
almost
before
celebrating
the
a goal, yeah. Was that won't be going to the back of the net. Lassen there presented with that beautiful chance.
And he just came on.
Yeah, just coming
It
in.
would have been less than 2 minutes now.
Look at that beautiful piece of beautiful response there from the Chelsea goalkeeper, and beautiful flick header there from Tolu Arokodare. What would have been the second goal from Wolverhampton in this game?
Yeah,
And that would have sent this game into a lot of drama going to the dying embers of it. Yes, it's still 3-1 Chelsea leading at the 70th minute, but Wolverhampton looks to be the better side in the second half of both sides in this encounter.
Yeah, Wolverhampton,
They asking for penalty?
I don't think there's no penalty there.
Or corner kick is what probably corner kick. Or was that an offside call? I think it looks like an offside call against Wolverhampton. Okay, that's how it looks. Still waiting for the confirmation of that one. Looking at score lines from all the centers at the 68th minute. It's Liverpool trailing 2-0 against Crystal Palace. Still 1-1 that one between Swansea and Manchester City. Wolverhampton 1, Chelsea 3, Newcastle 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0, Arsenal 1, Brighton 0. It's game on in that encounter. Referee says that was an offside call against the Wolverhampton. So it's a free kick to Chelsea to restart this game at the 71st minute. Let's say that's again. From the Wolverhampton players were asking for a free kick there, which the referee didn't assent to. So yes, Wolverhampton possession against Chelsea. They are really growing into this game, and I won't be surprised if they're getting the second goal in this one. Arsenal with a free kick, a long one into the box there. The Gunners will get onto the end of that. Still Arsenal in possession with this brilliant chance for a second goal from the Gunners. Unfortunately, they couldn't put that into the back of the net. Chelsea will also attack against the Wolverhampton. Is Tyreek George. I'm going straight into that tackle. That should be a free kick. That should be a yellow card to the Chelsea's winger. Let's see that again. And they're almost going into crashes. The referee should be giving me a yellow card for that. Yes, finally won himself a yellow card. I don't understand the reason for all this. If I'm the manager, I'll be making a substitution right now before he gets himself sent off. Okay, going straight to Syria. The French League One, where we've seen some kind of result on tonight. Lorient forcing PSG to a 1-1 draw. Le Havre and Brest. Le Havre defeating Brest 1-0. Metz also defeating Lens 2-0. 1 man down in that encounter. The Metz actually played that game 1 man down after getting a red card in that encounter. We also have a Nice defeating Lille 2-0 in that encounter. AS Monaco and Nantes at the 48th minute is 2-2 as it stands. Olympique Marseille against Angers is 1-1. And we also have Paris. We also have Paris FC trailing against Lyon 1-0 in that encounter. Strasbourg 1 goal up against Auxerre, while Toulouse are losing 1-0 at home against Reims in that encounter. And this man, Joaquin Panicelli of Strasbourg with the goal at the 46th minute. Is currently the top scorer in League One. Yes, another chance, and that is the second goal for Wolverhampton against Chelsea. At the 73rd minute, Wolverhampton are turning days into drama and the magical night. And they've reduced the deficit further. Just one more in this one at the 73rd minute, and finally turning this game into a contest.
Wow. And how did we not get this goal also?
All right, game of football currently going on in that one between Chelsea and Wolverhampton.
I think we need a VAR in this
if there's one thing Chelsea actually failed to defend very well, it has to be There's quite a
Oh my
lot of
God,
throw-ins.
But that was a good goal there
from Wolverhampton.
And
they
the
can
goal
still
has
get
been
a third
coming.
goal.
The
The
goal has
goal has
been
been coming, yes.
Yeah.
They've looked the better side in the second
The
half.
goal has been coming.
Really, they've looked the better side. Look at that from Wolverhampton. The way they actually flick that, I won't be surprised if they get a third goal in this
Oh
game.
my God.
All right, 74 minutes gone. That's one. Wolverhampton coming forward against Chelsea. There's a sense of belief from the Wolverhampton players that yes, they can get one more back in this one. Chelsea looks to be quiet in the middle of the second half. Arsenal players also appealing for a penalty in that game, but the referee says no. It's going to be a corner kick. And Wolverhampton attacking against Chelsea. This might just be a chance for the final equalizer in this one. But Chelsea regains some possession, look to attack against Wolverhampton, and they log one onto the part of Liam Delap. And Liam Delap on the ball there tries to beat his man. Yes, Wolverhampton winning the ball back and holds onto the ball there as they look to get a third in this one against Chelsea.
And I think the substitution made by Chelsea has not really even made any effect.
Had an effect on this game. Let's see what the referee, the manager Enzo Maresca will be taking on the bench right now. Yes, and still Chelsea. Marco Correa on the ball there. Sends a long one back into the middle of the park. Wolverhampton possession. And they'll look to attack against Chelsea right now. If I'm the manager, I'll be taking out Tyreek George right now. Because, really causing unnecessary... getting the unnecessary yellow cards is really bad for Chelsea. Should they concede a third one against Wolverhampton? Tolu Arokodare on the ball there, holding on to the ball. And you ask yourself the question, when you see this kind of Newcastle or Wolverhampton's performance in the second half, you ask yourself, why are they really struggling in the EPL?
Yeah, and that's exactly how they performed. The last game, they waited till after they conceded 2 goals before, that should be the goal. Oh my God!
That's not a chance for a second, and that's the second. That is Bukayo Saka. Was just double the lead for Arsenal. You can see the Arsenal fans going into wide jubilations right here in the studio.
He made the run
and
from
it's still
the back.
0 for Arsenal right now, leading against Brighton. Looks like yes, it's done and dusted already in that one.
Yeah, at least we're giving ourselves a breathing space. And 2 goals now. So it's game over for Brighton. But Bukayo Saka, a lot of credit needs to go to him because look at the run from the back and eventually got the goal. Was the one charging there going forward. I mean, okay, that's Lewis Kelly right there.
It's a beautiful one there for Arsenal to go up in this one and send themselves straight into the next round of the Carabao Cup. But still 15 more minutes to play in regulation time. Chelsea have a bigger 14 minutes to play in this one.
Yeah, and I think Brighton are trying to, Wolf are trying to use the area presence of their, players to bully the Chelsea.
Hey, it does work the magic for them. Look at that. And you ask Joe Gessin, what was that?
And this is exactly what the Liverpool manager has been complaining about, throwing. And, they've gotten a go from throwing.
Since it's working the magic, yes, we've seen the substitution, Tyreek George and being replaced, and it's Pedro Neto, who has been thrown into the last 14 minutes of this encounter. He's a former Wolverhampton player himself. Let's see if he can inflict pain onto the part of a team that brought him into the limelight of EPL. And we can also see Arsenal making a substitution. Arnold's being withdrawn, and also Declan Rice being thrown into that encounter. Arsenal having lot of experienced player on the pitch right now for the last 30 minutes of this game.
Yeah, I said it in the first half. I've said it again at the start for the second half that Brighton, if you fail to take the lead in the first half, it's definitely game over for you because by the time the big boys start coming on, and then the game will be, and that is exactly what is happening now.
All right, straight into the 77th minute. That one is 78th minute in the game between Arsenal and Brighton. Arsenal 2, Brighton 0. Brighton coming forward there, they have themselves to blame for this one because they should have gone 2 goals up in the first half and presented big chances in the first half, but couldn't turn those chances into goals. And Chelsea will look to attack right now against Wolverhampton, losing the ball in that position. That should be a throw into the Blues. What will they make out of this? Is they trying a corner kick? Let's see what the referee actually thinks in that moment. We've seen Pedro Neto being thrown into that game, and also Tyreek George being replaced by the Blues. 3 goals scored by Chelsea in the first half. And we've seen Wolverhampton also get 2 in the second half. Can they also equalize in this game and turn it into 3-3? Yes, Chelsea finding themselves in the Wolverhampton box, and Wolverhampton will take that out of the line. They have a bigger presence of Tolu Arokodare to contain up front. Wolverhampton in possession, looks to attack against Chelsea, sends onto the part of Tolu. And yes, Chelsea in possession, sends it back to the Chelsea goalkeeper, Jorgensen, who is not in a hurry to gather that. Jorgensen will hold the ball for Chelsea, sends it back into the defense there. Yes, the Blues in possession. Marco Correa on the ball there, looks into the defense there. and finds out his Chelsea teammate. Yes, Chelsea are looking to attack against Wolverhampton. What would they make out of this? Marco Correa in the ball with the ball there, driving through the lines there, returns it back onto the part of Josh Achipong. Achipong looks onto the wing there, and yes, still Chelsea in possession. Chelsea attacking right now. What would they make? A long cross into the box there, and Wolverhampton will get onto the end of that. And seems the referee says there was a push there. That should be a yellow card to the Chelsea striker Liam Delap.
I think Chelsea players and
getting
unnecessary cards. I just hope it's a part of a way for them to waste time. If not, because you don't get a card from all these kind of apples. Oh my goodness! Oh.
There was no need for that push. Look at that from Liam Delap. He needs to be spoken to, because I remember during the Club World Cup, we had all these issues with unnecessary cards being picked up by the Chelsea striker. Was gotten from each push. He needs to get the goals and not picking up the cards. Match in, match out for the Blues. They're straight right there. And we also have the second goal for Strasbourg against Ozrai. Sebastian Nanasi with the second goal for Strasbourg against Ozrai. Still 2-0. Manchester City finally in the lead against Swansea. Manchester City 2, Swansea 1 at the 79th minute.
Yeah, and it's taking them longer than expected. Omar Mamouche and Czech combining. Omar Mamouche getting the goal. And
yes, and Wolverhampton attacking against Chelsea with this great chance for it to go. Finally, the win himself, a corner kick against Chelsea. You can see the Wolverhampton fans.
Where they are very dangerous.
You can see the Wolverhampton fans are really celebrating winning that corner kick against Chelsea at the 80th minute. So 10 more minutes to go in that game between Chelsea and Wolverhampton, and it's really turning into an interesting tie at the last 10 minutes. Chelsea has 10 more minutes to hang on against Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton with a corner kick against the Blues at the 80th minute with this very chance to send it straight into 3-3. Takes a long one into the box there. Well, it's really eluded all the Wolverhampton players, and Chelsea will look to attack here. Liam Delap on the ball there for Chelsea. What will he make out of that? Good order play from the Chelsea striker. Chelsea will look to attack and send onto the wing. Offside call against the Blues there.
Yeah, that was offside.
In the offside position there. So as it stands right now, we have a lot of goals in various centers. Arsenal leading 2-0 at the 82nd minute. Liverpool trailing 2-0 against Crystal Palace. At the 78th minute is Swansea 1, Manchester City 2, Wolverhampton 2, Chelsea 3, Newcastle 2, Tottenham 0. Tolaro Kodare being withdrawn to a big applause from the fans, and they've sent in this man to try and get the third goal. Let's see if that is possible for Wolverhampton. They have one more goal to go in this one against Chelsea.
Yeah, they still need one more goal to make the comeback complete, but I think Tolu Kudara tried, maybe in the second half, and he gave all his best. In the first half, he had a golden opportunity, to have scored the first goal for Brighton Wolf, but he didn't take it. But I think he took a chance in this second half.
He has Chelsea chasing this one and looking to hang on to this slim lead in this encounter from having, a wide lead in this game to turning it into slim one in this encounter. Yes, Brighton still coming out against the Gunners and looking for their first goal. Arsenal defending with all their life in this one, finally clearing that off the goalpost at the 83rd minute, and also 82nd minute in that one between Chelsea and Wolverhampton. Chelsea 3, Wolverhampton 2. And that's one. Wolverhampton coming all out against Chelsea right now. Will the third goal be possible in this one? They still have about 9 more minutes up to attack against Chelsea. Jorgensen on the ball there, returns it into the heart of the defense. There's Chelsea looking to attack against Crystal Palace, and into the middle of the park finds his Chelsea teammate there. Chelsea attacking right now. And what will the Blues make as that sense onto the wing there? Finds Jamie Gittins, and Jamie Gittins on the ball there for Chelsea. Comes Ewald with the ball there, switches on position and finds his Chelsea teammate who was almost on spilling that. And here's Chelsea attacking right now, sense onto the wing there. Pedro Neto on the ball there, approaches up the Wolverhampton defense and comes inward with the ball. What will he make out of that? The Chelsea winger with the ball there, brought down, and it's a free kick to Chelsea at the 83rd minute. 7 more minutes to play in that one. Also, Arsenal with another further substitution. Leandro Trossard has been thrown into that game.
Yeah, and Mekateta gradually, replacing the starting 11, one after the order in this game.
Okay, yes, let's see how it ends in that one for Arsenal, who are currently 2 goals up And also Liverpool trailing 2-0 at the 80th minute against Crystal Palace. It's still 2-0. Newcastle leading against Tottenham Hotspur. Wolverhampton 2. Chelsea 3 as it stands at the 83rd minute on that account. A free kick to Chelsea with this great chance to further increase their lead against Wolverhampton from having it settled to unsettling yourself within the 40 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, and that's not a good one for Chelsea. Having led 3-0 and suddenly you have are now fighting to win the game that you have won right from the first half. So it's not a good one, but I think Chelsea can hold on, at least to for the remaining 7 to 10 minutes plus additional time.
All right, find ourselves at the 4th minute. Right now it's Chelsea 3, Wolverhampton 2. And Wolverhampton just sending everything to the Blues right now. They have a sense of belief that they can come back in this one. Yes, let's see if they can complete that comeback, that turnaround in this encounter. Wolverhampton coming forward against the Blues again. And yeah, my just great chance for a fourth, third one. And the referee spotted and the Frenchman says that it's going to be a free kick against the Wolverhampton there.
I think he should have headed the ball the other side.
Yeah, to the other side there. I think the player was in a better position there. We also have to give it to the Chelsea defender there. Beautiful. If Tolu was there, I think Tolu will have probably sent an header to the other side there, rather than coming straight to a crowded defense there. Josh Achipong was infringed there, and it's a free kick to Chelsea. Chelsea will also be making another substitution of their own. This time around, they'll be sending Moises Caicedo to stabilize things in the midfield. Bonanote will be withdrawn in this encounter at the 85th minute. Moises Caicedo being thrown into that one. We also have Brighton at the 86th minute, still trying to see if they can reduce the deficit against Arsenal in that encounter. With Arsenal, we are currently leading 2-1 in that one. Manchester City also leading 2-1. Omar Mamouche with the second goal at the 77th minute to send Manchester City into a 2-1 lead against Swansea. And we also have Liverpool still trailing 2-0, and everything's going from bad to worse for Liverpool, as of course gotten a red card in that game.
Liverpool, the bounce back. The player that got the red card is
Amara Nalo. He was brought in. He was thrown in at the 67th minute and got himself sent off at the 83rd minute.
It doesn't matter. He'll be going back to school tomorrow.
Hopefully, Lapo will get in a red card. It looks like that will be a red card to the Chelsea.
He's already on yellow.
He's on a yellow card and finally get himself sent off on his coming back to the EPL. And that is the red card to Liam Delap. And finally, Chelsea will have to play the last 5 minutes with a red card. That red card was coming.
Yeah, and I think that the judge escaped it, and he eventually put it on. But that's a very.
We've always talked about the way he approaches the game. I think he's actually let's see what really happens in that situation. But Liam Delap has been sent off on his coming back for Chelsea. Look at that. Let's see. Was that what a red card?
I think it's a second yellow, not a red
let's
card.
see. Was that actually what a second yellow? Oh, an elbow.
But that was the second yellow.
That is actually deserved a yellow card to the Chelsea striker. So Chelsea finding themselves in another pressure situation, another red card for Chelsea. If there's one thing they know how to end, it's actually red cards.
Yeah, this season they've been very good at that.
Yeah, so we are straight at the 87th minute and 3 more minutes to play in regulation time. Leander Lapom sent off in as a counter, and Chelsea will have to play the last 4 minutes with 1 man down. I think we'll be having about 4-5 minutes additional time added to this game. Still a lot of chance for Wolverhampton to find that equalizer against Chelsea in this encounter.
I don't think there's still a lot of chance.
There's still a lot of time. 4 minutes. It's still 4 minutes plus probably 5 minutes additional time. We're having about 9 minutes, to play in this game. There's still a lot of time for them to find an equalizer and probably a winner in this game. Just to have themselves to blame should they finally lose the second half. From it, that record to Liam Delap, that means he'll be missing the game, I guess. What's it called? Tottenham Hotspur come this weekend. When Chelsea have been crying for a striker, then you're just coming off from the injury and you're picking up a red card. Here's a chance for Wolverhampton. Trying to come back into this one. Still Wolverhampton. Yes, the equalizer. Oh, Chelsea.
Is there no offside?
That was a kick onto Marco Correa in the box there.
Oh my word.
And it's going to be a free kick to Chelsea. Wolverhampton trying to come back in this one. It's still very much possible for them. Brighton also looking to reduce the deficit in this. I really want Brighton to score because it looks like they actually deserve to get one in this game. Looking at how many goals, I think Lassen actually wasted too much time, picking up his spots on right there.
Yeah, and I thought it was even offside, but there was no offside there.
No, there's no way. There's no way that was an offside. That wasn't an offside. All right, straight into the last embers of this game as we're at the 88th minute, approaching the 89th minute. Long one there. Chelsea chasing every ball. Wolverhampton also coming out against the Blues, having the sense of belonging that they can chase this one and get a winner against or equalize against the Blues in this encounter. Straight into the 89th minute. It's Chelsea 3, Wolverhampton 2. And here's the Blues in possession. Moises Caicedo on the ball in the middle of the park. Switches and finds Marco Correa. And Marco Correa released that as Chelsea looks to attack and sent onto the part of Jimmy Gittins. Gittins with the ball. He has to assist in this encounter. And he has been sent out of that box. He played it out by himself. For Christ's sake. Okay, as we're approaching the 8th or 9th minute of the counter. It's Chelsea 2, Chelsea 3 rather, Wolverhampton 2.
Also because he looks tired.
Let's see what really happens there. Another throw in for Wolverhampton, but this time around it's actually in Wolverhampton's box. It looks like every team is finally having that right back that can throw a long throw.
Every team, yeah, and I think they've seen that.
Yes, Chelsea, what a goal! What a goal from the Blues! How a way for Gittins to get his first goal for Chelsea. After 2 assists in his goal. And Jimmy Gittins with a world-class goal for the Blues. And that is his first goal for Chelsea. And what a goal for the Chelsea striker. That eases the pressure on him. A big money signing from Borussia Dortmund. And coming straight into it. What a goal for Jimmy Gittins.
Yeah, and the goal that finally sealed the fate of Wolverhampton Wanderer or any hope of coming back. And he took the ball one time.
Where has the shot actually been since he joined Chelsea? Look at that from Wolverhampton there. Jimmy Gittins not having a look at where the goalpost is. Just went for a shot there. There was nothing the goalkeeper Jose Sark could do there. Beautiful goal there from Jimmy Gittins.
Yeah, that was a fantastic goal.
You can see what it means to the young England international there. And getting Chelsea the 4th goal at the 90th minute. And it seems it's all done. It's all done and dusted already.
It's done and dusted. It has killed off any hope of Wolverhampton. Getting anything in this. We were thinking that with the red card, and this is what Chelsea need. At least a goal that we give them.
We have a 6-minute additional time in that encounter. Still a lot of time to go. Wolverhampton can still think of coming back in this one. And what a chance for Wolverhampton. This is Wolverhampton who has gotten one back in this game. Going magical in this one. Drama everywhere. It's now 4-3 and it's not over.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
It's not over yet. It's 4-3 right now. Dramas at the Molia Stadium. As Wolverhampton has just scored the 3rd goal against Chelsea. Defensive and blunder there from the defense of Chelsea there. And look at that. There was nothing Marco Correa could have done there. And Wolverhampton further reduced their deficit in this one.
Yeah.
Wow. Nevy next 5 minutes to play in this one for Chelsea against Wolverhampton. What was that defending from Moises Caicedo? What was that defending from Moises Caicedo there? And it's a 4-3 right there in that encounter. Leicester is ended. It's in the Molia Stadium. Also, Crystal Palace has tripled their lead against Liverpool right there at the 89th minute. It's Crystal Palace 3, Liverpool 0 in that account.
Yeah, I actually called it. I think if there will be any goal, I think it's Crystal Palace that will be getting a goal. Not
Chelsea. It's a heavy game. 2 minutes gone out of 4-6 minutes. Yes, Chelsea in possession of the ball. They'll look to attack against what they try to do? Try to defend right now. 2nd minute of 6 minutes. 4 more minutes to play in this one. This is turning into a heavy end, turning into an interesting end to the game between Chelsea and Wolverhampton.
Yeah, and Chelsea making it life difficult for themselves.
I think if there's one thing they know how to do is that is just it. It's still very much possible we see an equalizer from Wolverhampton in this encounter. Let's see how it goes there. Straight into the third minute, 3 more minutes to play in this one. Should Wolverhampton equalize in this game? This game will be going straight into extra time. A setback to the goalkeeper. Jorgensen takes a long one into the Wolverhampton box. And it's Wolverhampton who are getting onto the end of that. Arsenal will have about 5 minutes additional time. We're straight into the 4th minute of 5 minutes. Chelsea will look to attack again against Wolverhampton. With this very chance there, Pedro Neto on the ball for the Blues. There approaches on the Wolverhampton box and finds himself in the box there. Yeah, might just be a chance for Chelsea with this beat. Yes, what's that pass?
I think Pedro Neto need to have hold on.
Yeah, he should have hold on to the ball.
Yeah,
there was no need. There was no need.
Wolf are looking for any opportunity to send the ball inside your own. I don't know why he's running to.
And there's one thing they've understood in this game that yes, just as an age, they have a problem, defending against the height of the Wolverhampton players. And Wolverhampton there, Marco Correa on the ball there, and was being gathered onto the ball there. Referee last place to continue says that was a fair challenge against the Chelsea player. And yes, the Wolverhampton possession. Chelsea will clear the lines against Wolverhampton, sends it back into the Wolverhampton box there. It should be a free kick to Chelsea. Yeah, he's on Brighton. I'm still looking to reduce the deficit in this one. And referee last place to continue. Still Wolverhampton in this one. It should be a free kick to Chelsea as Tosin Adarabioyo was brought down there and it's an infringement against the Chelsea player. So it's going to be a free kick to Chelsea at the 94th minute of that encounter. 2 more minutes to play in this one.
Yeah, and talking about the Arsenal game, I think this goalkeeper, Kepa, is too good for to be playing in this competition because look at how he has been very, very calm, despite everything that Brighton has thrown. Not that Brighton have not really played, but it's just that they cannot put the ball at the back of the net.
Well, straight into the 94th minute of that one between Chelsea and Brighton. Is a free kick to Chelsea and Wolverhampton rather. It's a free kick out to Chelsea. Long one there from the Chelsea goalkeeper. And it's out for a throw into Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton will take this quickly as possible. Chelsea in possession of the ball there. And losing possession almost immediately. Wolverhampton back in possession. We're straight into the 95th minute, 5th minute of 6 minute additional time. Back to Osesa. What a late drama this will be should Wolverhampton finally equalize this encounter. They come out to attack against Chelsea. Right now finds themselves in possession. And yes, Chelsea winning the ball back and looks to attack against Wolverhampton. But Wolverhampton back in possession. As we're going straight into this one, Arsenal with a chance to triple their lead in this one. If there's one thing about making life hard for yourself, it has to be this game between Chelsea and Wolverhampton. Manchester City scoring their 3rd goal in that encounter against Swansea. Yeah, just very chance. Will that be the 3rd goal for them?
My goodness.
And there's Marco Correa on the ball there. That should roll out for a goal kick. And Wolverhampton wants a corner kick.
I think it should be a goal kick.
And let's see if that's a goal kick or it will be a corner kick. And we're straight into the 6th minute. And it's full time in that game between Arsenal and Brighton, with Arsenal finally getting a victory over Brighton after that disastrous first half. The manager they didn't manage to get a shot on target on the first half, but they managed to get themselves a 2-0 victory over Brighton at the end of the day. So it ended Arsenal 2, Brighton 0 in that encounter. And Chelsea in the last minute, the very last 1 minute of this encounter against the Wolverhampton. Long one from Jorgensen into Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton in possession of the ball. Chelsea challenging for all the ball up front there. Here's a Chelsea chance to attack also against the Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton in possession. Sends that long one. Marco Correa dashes out a throwing to Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton quickly taking that as they look to for a late charge against Chelsea in this encounter. Yeah, might just be a late drama on everyone. And Wolverhampton with a long one into the Chelsea box. Ooh, almost sending it straight into the head of the Chelsea player, but still having Wolverhampton in possession as they come out to attack against Chelsea. Yeah, might just be a chance for that Wolverhampton one. And it's there was nothing they wanted. They don't want to hear that today. I'm talking about Wesley Caicedo. The goalkeeper should be coming out to gather that. Well, Wesley Caicedo is not interested in. He has a throw-in. And here is where the drama is for Wolverhampton again. We've seen them destabilize the Chelsea defense. And here's another long throw from Wolverhampton to destabilize the Chelsea defense. And this time around, they change tactics. I'm very sure they'll be sending a long one into the box there with the speed and straight into the hands of the Chelsea goalkeeper. This should be one of the last piece of action in this game. Chelsea from 3-0 leading find themselves 4-3 in this encounter. Jorgensen with a long one into the Wolverhampton box there. Referee still allows plays to continue. Says he hasn't seen the last of this long one. Yes, Chelsea in possession. Wolverhampton back in possession as they look to attack against the Blues in the 7th minute of 6 minute additional time. Still Wolverhampton in possession. Chelsea wins the ball back there. Wolverhampton regains possession against Chelsea. Chelsea still in possession. Ball being played in the air. Returns it back to Wolverhampton and long one. Referee finally says that is the end of this game. And it's ended. Chelsea 4, Wolverhampton 3. What a game of football in that one.
Yeah, honestly, to be honest, it has been a great night of football across, all match centers. Chelsea making life very, very difficult, and kudos to Wolf in the second half. They really tried, but I think they lost the game in the first half.
Okay, Arsenal defeated Brighton 2-0 in their own fixture. So Arsenal has also made it through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. Crystal Palace done dumping out their regular customer right now. Liverpool, the defending EPL defending champions, are also out of the Carabao Cup, losing 3-0 at home against Crystal Palace. Manchester City defeating, coming from behind to defeat Swansea 3-1. Chelsea from 3 goals up had to find a way to win this game 4-3 against Wolverhampton. Newcastle and Tottenham Hotspur. That game is currently at the 84th minute. It's Newcastle 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0 as it stands right now. So congratulations to all the teams who have made it up to the next round of the Carabao Cup. And also it's really great seeing Jamie Gittins with that worthy of a goal. It's always a pleasure having you in the studio, Paulo.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, so we come your way again on Friday for Talk Sport on Premier Sport Fan Center at 7:30 p.m. Nigerian time. You can join us up where we analyze and preview and review all sports stories around the world. My name is Adi Mishego. Till we come your way again, it's bye for now.